What's good, everybody? It is the man. It is the man coming back. Your man, 50 grand. Back at it again. I got something interesting for you guys this evening. You guys may have already done this, right? I'm sure that you guys probably have. It's been out for a while. What I want to do with you guys is today I want to review the uh, Black Manosphere magazine. If you guys are in the chat, if you guys can hear me, if not, if we have some sort of audio issue, my apologies. It's always been something up with YouTube, so let me know because I'm just not that great of a content creator. Hopefully, I'll be getting better. Uh, I don't know if you guys know or knew where to get the magazine from. So the link is in the chat, and you can pull up if you guys want to. The link is in the chat, so you guys can come on and we can discuss the magazine if you want to. You don't have to, but I just think it would be something that's cool. The Manosphere. The Manosphere is, I don't think it's what you guys think it is, right? It's part of what you think it is. The way that I see things is if it's not 100% true, then it's a lie. So you can call me an all or nothing type of guy, right? So if it's not 100% true, it's a lie. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't take some of those truths and you can't take some good out of it, because there are some good things that you can take out of it. But look for the lie, because the devil is in the details. The devil is always in the details. So without further ado, you guys can grab the link in the chat. Now, if you're watching, I can show you how to navigate the link in order to get the magazine, in which I don't know. There's one thing that I don't understand about the Black Manosphere, because if you can get the magazine for free, then why would you be selling it on Amazon? Now, how I know that they're selling it on Amazon was because I went to Amazon. At one point, it was free. And then I went back and they were selling it on Amazon. Give me a second, because I'm going to pull it up here. And yeah, so they're selling the Kindle edition on here for 99 cents. Right? Well, why? Right? Why? It's a magazine that actually, if you hadn't gained any traction, right, just go ahead and give it away. Just go ahead and, this is not a paid, I don't think that this was a paid thing so that they could try to start a business out of it. I don't know. Right. So these are some unclear things. And there's some unclear things about the Manosphere. Just like there's some unclear things about the people who are running the Manosphere, the Black Manosphere, right? There's some unclear things about the people who are in charge. There's some unclear things about the structure, right? There's some unclear things about the order, all right? There's all these unclear things. Now, I don't know if these are the scariest Negroes on the planet, or they're irresponsible, or they just want to be, I can't even say they want to be hidden, right? Because, you're going to have all type of people who don't like you. So I get it. It's okay. But if you're going to be a scary Negro, what's the term? If you're scared, go to church. If you're scared, go to church. Where's my minutes to Jap? Hey, I got to get me some organs or something like that. So, right. If you're scared, go to church. Don't. The issue with the manosphere, and I'm going to kind of pick on BGS for a second. And the reason why I'm picking on BGS is because he is supposed to be the master teacher. Right? He's supposed to be, I guess, the front runner or something like that, or even O'Shea or whatever the case may be, right? These are the people that's in the limelight. Obsidian. I don't know these people personally. All right. But it would be great if there was a point person somewhere who could guide people about, what's going on with this magazine, what should be going on in the manosphere, right? Because a lot of guys don't know. So I think that it would be great if there was some sort of organization. All right. So I'm going to show you where you can actually go on Amazon and, now the Manosphere, A New Hope for Masculinity, that's nothing. But then you get to the Black Manosphere, and these Negroes want to charge you for a glossary, for a report card. Now, I can understand that, black men don't really have as much money, so they can't really put out free things that will really, be beneficial to people, right? But that's one thing. But here's the next thing. So here's how you get the free version. Here's how you get the free version of the Manosphere magazine. You hit the link, right? You hit the link and you scroll down here, and then you'll see at the bottom here that you have this magazine, and you can actually scroll through the magazine. Okay. You can scroll through the magazine, right? Down here at the bottom, there's a shared link. Then there's a download link. And the only thing I have to do is download the PDF file. You can just download the PDF file right here. And then with that, after you download it, it's going to come up here. Something like this, right? Okay, so you have the Black Manosphere, and you have the 2021 glossary, and here's a report card breakdown. We explore 10 reasons why Black heterosexual men and boys congregate in this space to help each other understand, address, and overcome systemic issues that have plagued them for decades. All right. That's the report card. So we're going to read some of that, right? Now the thing is that a lot of this stuff is, I guess it's propaganda. It's a magazine, right? And so we have a problem. So the first thing that they say is, a black man, we have a problem, right? Admitting you have a problem is the first step to fixing it. Here's our list of problems and our strategic plan to fix them. So that's going to be interesting. And that should be on page 26. All right. But then you have this core glossary. And here's our extensive list of 100 commonly used words and concepts. So I found that particularly interesting. Now, here's the other thing that I found that was interesting. So it says this mayor here, Mayor Williams says, I support in improving the overall health of black men with this all-natural male dietary solution. I take A game. Now, I don't know what A game is, but I think I'm about to find out. Every 3 days, it's a powerful blend of 21 herbs that support the entire body. It increases my vitality, energy, strength, and libido, as well as improve my blood flow. So this A game, I don't know why a mayor would it be endorsing this, unless they kind of hijack the brother or something like that, or unless he really has these issues, right? Because I think that if you have a mayor, wait a second, if he's a real mayor, okay, Don Juan Williams, I'm just reading here at the bottom. Don Juan Williams served as the mayor of Glenarden near Washington, D.C. for 3 terms and currently holds the position of a city council member, okay, with libido issues, okay. He is currently running for a 4th term. He served in the U.S. Army for 28 years and is the president of Salisbury Alumni Chapter of the Kappa Alpha Phi Psi fraternity, or whatever you call it, right? He is a loyal customer who has consistently taken A game over the past several years. Wow. All right. So one thing that I do know about the Manosphere is that there's a lot of military guys. I don't know what to think about this. So if you guys are in the chat or if you guys want to leave your comments, you can like, share, and subscribe. But, this is already, to me, I don't really know what to think about this. Because I think that he could have said something a little bit more political besides endorsing. I would think that you probably use an athlete or some sort of entertainer or something like that in order to, in order to kind of start the magazine off. But that's just me, right? All right, so then we're going to go down here to the glossary. I found some things that was interesting. There's Dr. Spencer Holman. Now, the thing that is kind of it's kind of intriguing to me is that he's the publisher and editor-in-chief, right? So these is kind of like a one-man operation or a one-man and 2 women operation, right? So the writers of this deal and the editors is Dr. Michelle Knights and Kendra Davis. Anybody who knows me or listen to my content, first thing I would tell you is that anytime you get women involved in man things, it's going to be problems. The message is going to be skewed. Feminism is going to come in. Period. It's going to be a huge fucking problem. All right. So he's the editor, and we all know who the editor is. He's the editor-in-chief, but we all know who's going to be doing the editing, right? And then you have the contributors. You have, here it is again, a contributor, Tracy Brown. I don't know who Tracy Brown is. The Bishop, I've heard of him. The Book of Ronan, Ebo Sosa, haven't heard of him. The Young Manhood Channel, Tanya Shelton, Sherry Peel Jackson. Now, how is it that you have a magazine for black men, right? You have a magazine for black men, but yet the contributors are 1, 2, 3. So 3 out of 7 are female. All right. So thank you for supporting for black men and the issues we face. Well, I don't know how they're actually supporting black men. Because I can tell you this, it's damn sure not financially. I don't know of one program that the Manosphere is actually running that's strategically designed to help black men, but that's okay. So here's the purpose. The purpose for, let me crank this up so you guys can see it. The purpose of the Black Manosphere magazine it's an annual edition, so you're only going to get one of these once a year, is to provide a core glossary of frequently used terms in the Black Manosphere online community. It also serves to help Black men understand, address, and overcome systemic issues which have plagued them for decades. Okay, so he's kind of saying the same thing again. Now, here's the trip. So every year you're going to get a glossary. So this is like a dictionary, maybe. All right, so let's talk about this. This edition features 10 Black major life issues of Black men encounters on a daily basis. So the lack of Black male agency, poor health conditions, high incarceration rates, chronic homelessness, chronic joblessness, chronic fatherlessness, poor education support, negative betrayal, persistent barriers to wealth, and constant threat of extinction. Okay, so let's even say that that's cool. Let's say that that's cool, right? Get my mic up. So let's say that that's cool. Wow, that sounds like a hell of a list for Black men to try to overcome, right? Interesting. Solutions are offered through the teaching of the implementation of the 10 life values to help Black men solve their problems with the help of other Black men. Now, I've looked over the 10 life value systems and I agree with it to a degree. Right? The thing about the 10 life values is that it's a system. It's a system that most Black men don't have, especially growing up. Now, I'm an adult Black male, and I don't have a readily system. And my son doesn't have a system. So Dad is going to incorporate this particular system into our lifestyle and see how it works out. All right. Now, if you guys are looking for, I hate the fucking magazine. This is not one of those deals. This is not one of those deals. This is a review. All right. This is a review. Hey, just real quick, I want to say what's up. My man Gino, what's happening? Gino, what's good, man? Hey, it's good to see that you on with me. Hey, you can pop up anytime, man, if you want to. Let me know. I don't know if you've seen the magazine. If you've seen the magazine, let me know. Right? Let me know. Let me know what you thought about it. And the link is there. If you want to know how to get the link in a PDF form, just let me know. Right? So the 2021 Black Manosphere Core Glossary. Now, this is interesting, right? The reason why it's interesting is because it has over 100 commonly used words in the Black Manosphere red pill space. He says he's chilling in the back. Oh man, hey, I hope you posted up, man, in the hotel, man, with a little slim something. Yes, sir. So I don't know if you've seen the Manosphere glossary, but the link is in the chat. It's very easy to get it. You can hang out. But this core glossary, it kind of struck me some kind of way because I'm like, well, this is helpful because we're using all of these terms. And guys are tossing these terms out. And when I came to the Manosphere for the first time, guys are tossing out all of these terms. And I me being a street guy, I can understand what it is that you're saying because it's a language, right? It's just a way of communicating. But there is some things that I think guys need to to understand about the glossary, the terms, because there is a huge misunderstanding about everyone and what's going on, right? Let's see. Hey, I heard that. Bro. We're gonna get a little slimmy with some Aries in a minute. I heard that one. But also, what I think is that them by isolating to this one vocabulary, right? I think that it kind of makes, the guys seem kind of boxed in, seem kind of fucking dumb. But let's go over some of these things. Some of these things that kind of struck me, right? Alpha male. Now, I didn't think that there was a definition for alpha male outside of what was in the dictionary, but you know how black folks are, right? We make up our own shit. So alpha male, a dominant male who is at the top of the dominance hierarchy. He is bold, confident, intelligent, and driven to succeed. So here it is again. I don't think that this is, you could tell that this is written by women. This is the fucking problem. How can we tell that this is written by women? A dominant male is at the top of the dominance hierarchy. What dominance hierarchy? Are you going to explain this dominance hierarchy? Are you going to go into it in depth? No. You're just going to toss something out there and let it be what it's going to be. He's bold and confident and intelligent and driven to succeed. Again, succeeding to do what? This is the reason why when I tell you guys, women are going to take your shit over because they're talking to you as if this is a gynocracy. And we're going to get to that word because it's defined in here. All right. So men want to be like him and women want him. Even though they do not qualify to be with him. What the fuck are they talking about? He is very masculine, has great leadership abilities, resources, and is usually viewed as the most capable, competent within his group. A man has several qualities that result in him being chosen, followed, respected, admired, and even feared amongst men, and highly desired among women. See, this is the problem with this shit starting at letter A. This is the problem. That is not what the fuck an alpha male is at all. This is some more blind leading the blind dumb shit. Alpha males are not usually chosen. They're not usually fucking respected. They're generally assholes who are selfish and self-centered and only care about themselves. They are loners. Lone wolves. That's what alpha males are. Now you see how you are going to go into a whole situation. Give me a second. You are going to go into a whole situation following black folks and they're leading you down a path of fucking stupidity all over again. This is how black folks become mediocre. Because you're trying to redefine something that's not true. And you're trying to make it true to something that's already fucked up. These terms like alpha male. Alpha male is something that has already been studied. It's been heavily considered. And the alpha male is based on nature. Nature. Now, I've waited to do a couple of live streams because I started reading this. And I said, oh, this is a good glossary to go by because this shit here is designed to keep black folks stupid. So already out the gate, you're going to be a dumbass. Be a dumbass. Hold on a second. Gino, highly desired women. What kind of women? The man is about to break the list out. No, bro, I'm not gonna break the list out because this shit right here, it's fucked up. Starting at the letter A. But women wrote this. Juan G, salute to you. Hey, that mile high salute, bro. That mile high salute. It said alpha males are trailblazers at their core, which can lead to extensive loneliness. Alphas don't care about being heavily desired. Exactly. They don't care. These are your foragers out here in the world. These are your men who are so fucking wrapped up in their own lives, they don't really have time for fucking community. That's why alpha males' communication skills are so fucking poor. But all of this shit right here is going to lead you into one fucking place. Sex. And the reason why it's going to lead you all the way back to sex, and I'm almost certain, is because women are writing this shit, and that's all that's on their fucking minds a lot of times, is how to become attractive to men and how to lead men down the road so that they can become attracted to them. It's sociology. Gino, he said, I'm going to sit back and let you cook the pan. Hey, thanks, bro. Hey, man, you can go ahead and keep being interactive, bro. I'm trying to keep up, man. But this shit right here is just already the magazine is starting off with me at a fucking F, and they're going to have to earn an A now. All right? Typically in class, you start off with an A and you fuck up all on your own. But now, you know, this is already fucked up. Can you not tell what this is? They are, these fucking women just told you, here is what a real man is. Did you not read this shit? Here is what a real man is. Okay? He's an alpha male. He's very masculine, has great leadership abilities, resources, and is usually viewed as the most capable and competent within his group. They have just told you what a real fucking man is. This is fucking stupidity out the gate. Okay, moving on, man. ADOS, right? It's a political movement that seeks to advocate for people who are the descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States from the colonial period onward. It is viewed as a hashtag, ADOS, created by Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. That is not true. I'm going to tell you who invented the shit. It was me. It was me. And you know something? I really fucking enjoy Facebook. Because Facebook keeps a timeline of the shit that you create. And when I created it, actually, I got it from my wife. I got it from my wife. The reason being is because we are starting something called the Department of African American Affairs. And it is for the descendants of slaves in America. The descendants of slaves in America. That's what it's called. So that we can separate and differentiate between the mainland Africans who were enslaved and the ones who from the islands and from Europe. So that's the reason why we called it. In fact, I drew up a whole constitution about it. So from there, they picked my shit off of Facebook and made it popular. This is the problem when they see. So here's the problem with non-journalism. And the thing about Facebook is that the shit is actually date and time stamped. That's the reason why I like Facebook, so that you can't be refuted. And I think I did this like back in 2014 or something like that. So this was something I had worked on for, I think, about 3 years prior to that. But it was my wife who came up with, for the descendants of slaves. It was her who came up with that whole deal. Let me see. That's right, bro. That's right. Yeah, I talked about it. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull that shit up on Facebook real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up on Facebook real quick. I can show you guys. Oh shit. I don't know how to do it. But it's in my memories deal. In fact, they just popped up my whole little memories deal. And you can see it. And it's the African American Constitution. Because I believe that Black people need to be able to constitute or have our own constitution and be able to constitute our way and how we want to live in a system and a structure in which we want, because we're a peculiar people. Anyway, not to go into that too much. Lack of journalism is all I'm saying here. Okay, we are not going to start going into Carl Jung, archetypes, beast of burden. Let's see. Let's see. This term is a reference to a collection of men, Black men in particular, and their roles as it pertains to serving their communities. All right. Now, this is something that's good because I've never heard of beast of burden. I never heard that before. Right. So I think that's a good one. Right. This term is in reference to the collection of men, Black men in particular. Now, it's wonder why they call us beast, right? Because it's a term in reference to Black men, a collection of men, Black men in particular, and their roles as it pertains to serving their communities, and specifically in the service of women. Of course, we will be beasts, right? Meant to express their subhuman status, being devoid and of valid feelings, and not having a right to complain of the treatment conditions and the community and women are served through their work. Interesting that they would be called beast, right? Beast of burden. There was a lot of talk about this, and the reason being is because a lot of sisters, a lot of Black women, what they do is that they use the Black boys to serve them, right? They go out and they get public aid. They even get the boys on Social Security, make them take Ritalin, right? Call the boys crazy because they're just simply being boys. And then next thing you know, the mama's getting a paycheck for them. So it's in the mother's best interest. It's in the Black woman's best interest to continue to collect a check. So she gets money by making it seem like the boy is crazy, right? Which doesn't really exist. He's just being a goddamn kid, right? So I think that that's a good one. Cam Rob, what's up, baby? How you doing? You enjoying? First of all, I'm being rude. I hope you guys are out here enjoying your holy days, right? Or the so-called holidays. I hope that you guys are enjoying it. Hope that you guys are having a good time with your families, friends, so forth and so on, right? And yeah. So Cam Rob, I don't celebrate Christmas, as you can see. I don't celebrate Christmas. Here's what I am working on. So Kwanzaa, and I want to do this whole thing about the first of the year about Kwanzaa, right? Because Kwanzaa it's an actual act. So you're supposed to do Kwanzaa all year long, and then you are supposed to have 7 days of like Jubilee or something like that, right? So that's what I'm working on, Cam Rob. I am working on, establishing a family, establishing a community of people who are interested in doing Kwanzaa, right? So if you guys know of any places or any other groups or anything like that who does Kwanzaa, let me know, because that's the type of community that I'm interested in being plugged into. I think it will be a great thing. Plus 7 days of, celebration. I think that that's wonderful. Right. All right. So you got the bed buck. So I think that that's interesting. A term dating back to slavery. This is meant to back to the magazine. Bed buck is where I'm at. A term dating back to slavery. This is meant to represent the status of a black man as nothing more than a working phallus meant to breed with women, to grow the slave population, and some unconfirmed but unreported uses by white female slave owners to serve their sexual pleasures. I figured we was going to get to that. Today, the term is applied as to black men perceived as sexual prowess, no matter the race of his partner. As a result, he is only valued for his sexual abilities. I think that that's cool. Let's see. No problem. I'm celebrating Kwanzaa too, with my family too. Oh, okay. All right, Cam. Hey, that's good. Hey, everybody that's here, man. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, because you didn't have to. You can be listening to somebody else, maybe talk some more interesting shit, I just came across this, and I think that it's actually good to kind of go over some of this stuff, right? But yeah, so you got this bed book, right? And a lot of guys don't think that it applies to them. So I think that we'll just start using some of these terms. And if these are terms that some of the guys have already used, then here we go. Beta male. Often used as a pejorative, meant to describe a non-dominant or submissive male. Describes a male lacking traditional accepted masculine traits. To a significant degree, possesses characteristics often considered as weak, subordinate, lower status, and not desirable to women. May not be able to inspire other men to follow his lead. Now, this is the reason why I'm telling you guys that this shit is being written by women. Because beta males are who women desire. Today's modern woman desires the fucking beta male. Because the woman is in control, so she doesn't desire the alpha male. She desires the fucking beta male. The alpha male is the asshole. Why? Because he's the one that brings about discipline, structure, order. The beta male is happy to be around pussy. You get it? This how I know that when it comes to these type of things, the girls are writing it. And you don't have to tell me, you know. Right. They want to control them. Women want to control men. They want to be in control. And we're going to do a show about that. And I wish people would pop up so that we could talk about that in our next show about who's in control. Right? Because women they have this sixth sense, and they know that they are actually being controlled in all of their thoughts, speeches, and actions. They know it. So what do they try to do? They try to project control amongst someone else. Because men right now are controlling women in everything. We do. We control their clothes, their shoes, how they feel about themselves, what they think about themselves. We control their cars that they drive, how they drive them. Everything is a control. So women, a man tells you, here's how you turn on the lights, up and down. Here's how you turn the lights on and off. Flick them up and down, right? Here's how you wash the dishes. Here's the dishwashing liquid you. Here's all of this shit. We control them in everything that they do. Even when a woman wants to have male company, she has to go pick up the shit off the floor and clean up and tidy up if she really likes them. We control everything about them. So this whole beta male fucking idea, this is not true. Beta males are very desirable to modern women. Okay, here's another one that I don't think that you've ever even heard of. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this. Bioculturing. And I don't know, Cam, I don't know if you heard of this. You've been around this space longer than I have. Bioculturing, a concept created by Dr. Holman. Well, no shit. I was wondering when his name was going to pop up in these definitions. It's comprised of the elements of biology, genetics, morals, culture, influence, ethics, and environment, surroundings law. The concept is derived from his study in ancient African civilizations, the implementation of these three elements, which are framed through the lens of the 10 life values. Okay, so that's an interesting one. I have no fucking idea of this concept or ideology, right? He said at the core, bioculturing's concept is the trifecta of the transformation, which are the achievements of synergistic effect of biology, culture, and environment, as they simultaneously interact to produce the energy needed for transformation, regardless of the outcome being good or bad. Sometimes you can go to college and you can go get your PhD. You can become a doctor. And sometimes regular fucking people have no idea what you're talking about. So there is something called layman's terms. Now, I understand what he's saying. But I understand that this is the reason why that this term is not floating around the manosphere. You know why, Dr. Holman? Because nobody fucking understands it. I think that's safe to say. Because I have never heard nobody use the word bioculture. Okay, so he's gonna go through all of this shit. Bioevolution. I mean, you guys can stop me if you've heard some of these terms. bioevolution, right? As it refers to something that's going on in the manosphere, right? Uh, I can kind of see why this magazine didn't take off, why this one didn't take off. I can see why, right? I can see why that this is not a number one fucking bestseller, right? I can understand why. So bioevolution, biology, that's a term that I think that we can understand. Black community, a mocking way to address the concept of black community, mocks the idea that such a thing even exists, especially in any positive, constructive way. Also said in a dismissive way that declares it's non-existent or so toxic that it shouldn't exist, and that no black person with any self-worth should support or exercise any loyalty toward it. Okay, all right, so that's what that means. I mean, it sounds stupid when people say it, but okay. So black pill, here we go again. All right, so black pill is an offshoot from the red pill, blue pill analogy, was taken from the film The Matrix. It refers to a set of ideologies that take the world for what it is at its core, without assigning qualifiers such as good or bad. A person subscribing to this set of ideologies is in a state of acceptance of the true nature of people, their environment, and all situations, with a mostly objective eye. Also, people adopting this ideology are typically amoral, and do not usually act or think in accordance with whatever prevailing behavior or thoughts are acceptable as mainstream. So there's a lot said there. There's a lot to unpack there. So even in my thoughts, I would say, yeah, I could probably see that. I could probably see that. Blue pill. Okay. So we're going to kind of skip all this whole matrix stuff that they're talking about here. And we're going to go down to they often wholeheartedly are obvious and believe what it is accepted within the mainstream society. It's in opposition to the red pill, which refers to a person who is blind to the existence and operations of the gynocracy. Also refers to a man who is unaware of the female nature, choosing to have beliefs about women consistent with popular culture and society at large. Now, I don't know who they went to go get these damn definitions from, right? But a blue pill man is not blind to fucking women. And their existence, because there are a lot of blue pill men, there are a lot of red pill men who know and understand, but they support the gynocracy. They support it. They want to be part of it. Nino, what's good, man? Nino, what's happening? Hey, yo, my review, and I'm just reading some of these little definitions here because I just thought that they'll be interesting for you guys to know. So just going through it page by page, right? Going through it page by page. But blue pill men, they know and they support the gunocracy. They know better. They know what's going on, right? A lot of this other stuff that's in here, the concubine, the cuckold, chivalry, classic men, you know, I'm suffice to say that we might hear some Kevin Samuels probably going on through here, something like that, right? I don't know if Kevin Samuels of KS. I don't know if he has a I don't know if he has a part of the some definitions or something like that in here, right? But I do think overall having some definitions or something like that, I think that it helps with the communication and the space, right? So if you don't have it and you hear certain guys, if you hear certain guys saying certain things, maybe you should refer back to the glossary. You did. Let me know if y'all heard of this one. It's called a fee-fail. I think that's kind of stupid, but it's a term created by social media personality Brian Solange and made popular by another social media personality, Black Ram 313. I don't feel comfortable with saying that guy's name. I'm just saying. Black Ram. Okay. Combination of a female plus failure. Fee-fail. Literally a woman who has failed at being a good, virtuous, or a competent woman. Wow, now that's something. So Abadayu, what's happening, man? My man, Sir Abadayu in the building. All right. Female nature, femininity, feminine. I think that it's kind of cool. You could probably go over some of this stuff yourself. Say, if you guys, yo, Pastor, what's good, man? Pastor, $40 in the building. Hey, pull up, bro. Say, if y'all need the links, let me repost these links real quick. Give me a second. I'm going to repost these links. So then that way that you guys have them. I'll put them in the back. I'll put them in a private chat. All right. Let me do this too. Let me get y'all this stream, y'all. Let me get y'all this stream, y'all. What's up with you, bro?
What up, man?
Shit,
my guy just got up. Shoot, knocked out. Got up. That's talk to my son for a little bit, and that's about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Yeah, heck yeah. What is this on my knee? Yeah, heck yeah. Been chilling, bro. What you been up to, man?
Not much, man. Got these little show ideas and stuff like that. Been trying to put this little deal together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This little YouTube stuff like that, so I can put it on autopilot.
Heck
you know.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I see you reviewing the magazine. How'd you get it? Where this copy come from?
Okay, so all right. Here's the deal, and that's a great question. So for everyone who doesn't know, the Manosphere is being ran by this company here, Black Star University. All right. And Black Star University, it is it's a company that's being ran by this guy. Let me see. Dr. Spencer Holman. He is the one who holds the trademark to, or which is patent pending, but he's the one who applied for the trademark for the Manosphere. So it's this guy, right? And this guy has this whole 10 life system, this whole 10 life program, this whole deal, 10 life values. This is the guy, right? So what I was doing some poking around and went to his blog. And then I went to the Black Manosphere, kind of check it out. And then on here, you can download it for free. Simple as that. Just hit the download button, come right on up.
Nah, man, you got a whole free copy of the Manosphere
Yep.
magazine.
Yes, sir.
So how was this the first one or what?
Yeah, this is the first one. So it's an annual magazine, designed basically to tell, to kind of highlight where Black men are, where they're kind of doing poorly at, and maybe come up with some solutions, maybe, right? But remember when I was telling you that I'm like, yo, this is kind of like the women are controlling this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in getting the magazine, right? So obviously he's the publisher and the editor in chief, Dr. Holman. But the writers are two women, right? There's no male writers in this magazine. So they write it, they edit it, he approves it. Period. And the contributors, I've seen The Bishop, the Book of Ronin. I don't know about Ebo Sosa. I don't know if you know who that is, Ebo Sosa.
Mm-hmm.
And the Young Manhood channel. But
Don't
these,
know them. Don't know. I
yeah,
know I know the first three.
okay. So, but the other contributors are Tracy Brown.
That's honestly his name beside it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tracy Brown is a guy from DS1.
Nah, that's his name. DS1.
Oh, DS1 is his name. So that's how you find him on YouTube, right?
That's how everybody actually find those sheep stay sleepy TV, but I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
But they call him individual DS1. Yeah.
Okay, so I stand corrected about that. Tanya
Mm-hmm.
Shelton and Sherry Peel Jackson.
I don't know who those people are.
Okay. So
There might be
these are
might be Crimson in there somewhere, probably. Crimson Curve might be in there somewhere. I don't know her actual.
right.
I don't know. They got their actual names in there. I ain't know that though.
I don't know either. But these are the people who are supposed to contribute to help writing the first I guess installment of the Manosphere magazine. And I found it interesting that they would spend a lot more time giving definitions to how people communicate as opposed to spending more time on telling the Black men how to solve their problems. Right?
I definitely haven't. I think a lot of Black men have suffered with definition though. I really do. I don't like the fact that they covering all this blue pill and stuff like that. Now that to me is kind of. I don't really care for all these pills. To tell you the truth, I don't really care for Pookie and Ray Ray. I feel like Pookie and Ray Ray is a pill. I don't really care for the blue pill, red pill, black pill. I think that's kind of it's just too much. I don't really care for the pills.
What you say? They need to put them pills back in their medicine cabinet and start living life, huh?
Mm-hmm. Because if you live enough life, you're going to go through ignorant bliss, which is blue pill. You're going to have moments of reality, which is your red pill. And you're also going to have moments of despair, which is your black pill. So I mean, this is just regular life, period, to me, man.
Okay, so check this out,
What up,
right?
Nino? What up, Nino?
Have you ever heard of the flightless bird?
No, I don't read that much. You know that.
No, 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 no. Because see, this is a term coined by they said that this is a term coined by social media personality, the angry man. It refers to women who are not able to adapt to higher expectations or rise to their value. Women who are stuck in dysfunction, regardless of how much help is available to them to correct their behavior. They remain unwilling and unable to make significant changes. Hence, they are flightless birds.
But I,
Reference,
mm, that's him though.
reference. No, no, no. But I'm just saying that this is a definition that's in this magazine.
But he's, as the crazy thing about it is the definition is almost explaining himself. That's a 45, 50 year. I'm serious, bro. I'm not even trying to joke. That's a like nigga Taz was drilling Angry Man today. And hey, the shit made sense and the shit was and he was going in. But like cause a lot of the stuff that the Angry Man is saying about that definition, that's kind of him. He a 50-year-old guy that's still dressed like a 16-year-old boy.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Angry Man's 50?
Yeah, he's like 50, bro.
Oh
Or
man.
higher. I'm being generous at 50.
Oh. Oh.
And he still wear
He
um
pegged me for like the lower 30s,
what?
29 maybe.
Have you
Yeah,
looked
that's
at
what
that
he
nigga?
look, look, look. But I looked at him, but I didn't. Because the conversation that he keeps, you know.
That nigga beard is 30, bro. Fuck. That nigga's
No,
beard
so
is
so
30.
so Gino said, nah, he's 43.
He 43.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said he got a dossier on him. It's 43.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. No, Nino said that he's a generous 50. Hey, look, the
Hey,
the
all
the
right,
deal.
so I'm gonna let I believe I'm gonna let because Gino I'm gonna believe Gino on
You
him
don't
being
believe Gino on that one? Look,
I'm gonna
people
believe him. I'm gonna believe him.
people are out here suffering, man, literally from fucking delayed adolescence. And so the conversation that people keep, you know what I'm saying, makes it sound like they fucking 5 years old all over again. And
Hmm.
so, when I'm listening to him, I probably looked at him a few times, but I'm not about to pay attention to this guy. Like, yo, how old is he? You know what I'm saying? I just don't do that. I don't do that with entertainers. I just never been that type of person. All right.
Hmm. But their age is relevant though. Eventually, their age becomes. I mean, even though
Yeah.
you don't get stuck on it, it becomes a relevancy. Um, I think that a lot of there should be a whole lot more maturation in the so-called leaders of the black manosphere. They're not very mature. I'm not That's not a diss because I'm 34 and I could be more mature for 34, honestly. I really could. So I'm not dissing, it's just reality.
Yeah, it's just some reality. Okay, so F-19. Have you heard of that?
Nah, I do have not heard of it. I've never heard of none of these words. It's a
So
game, friend zone, group think. I hate that John Narky or
Janocracy.
Narcracy. I don't necessarily
So hold
like
on. Let's
that
let's let's
word.
cover. I want to cover this F-19 thing real quick. F-19 is a non-vulgar way of to say the mere profanity laced F nigger term. I've never heard of this, which is referring to a man who lacks some masculinity, and especially any system, order, or structure in his life. So how are you supposed to put this in a sentence? That's what I'm interested in. How are you supposed to put this? Hey, F-19. I mean, it really is that how you supposed to say this? I don't know.
Man, I guess you would say, man, I was trying to do some work with this brother, and it turned out to be a F-19.
Okay.
So $40 is
So,
right. I thought you read it, bro.
O'Shea and Angry Man. But there is a stark difference between how they present versus the dudes on the white side. Okay.
That is true. That is true.
Well, yeah, because they black. Well, at least O'Shea is black. I don't know about Angry Man. What the
Angry
fuck
Man,
nationality and race is the Angry Man? Could anybody tell me that, please?
he's a
So
black.
that
He a Blaxican. You know that's why he call himself Valdez and all that shit. He's not really black. I mean, like they give Angry Man a hard time about that, but Angry Man is not really. He's not really black. I mean, he almost like the race of my child. It's
yeah.
almost like one of those scenarios where he grow up. He know he biracial, but then he can kick it with the black side, almost like Dusty official. He another
Okay.
biracial. He a biracial too. And like, but they cool with black people. They grew up with black people.
So all right. So Gino Gino's the point man on this. Half black, half Rican, allegedly. Yeah. We're gonna have to see some birth certificates or something around here. All right. So what is this? Gynarchy? A rule by women or women, a system of government governed by women refers to a book by Aline Diabriant. Is that how you say that? The Gynarchy, a way for female and lesbian empowerment. Now,
See, that's you see that shit. Like they could have stopped that way for female empowerment, because technically it's just the women trying to get in control, but they had to throw in that lesbian part. I mean, I don't think every woman that wants power is a lesbian. I don't know if the gynocracy leads to lesbianism.
well,
Really don't believe
I
that.
tell you this now. I tell you this because I've been talking to some guys in all these neighborhoods where the neighborhoods are fucked up and the men are dying off. A lot of these guys, they don't want to go back to the hoods. And so a lot of these women are getting other women. Because a lot of men
That
don't
is
want to go
true.
back to they don't want to go back to the hood.
We are seeing a lot of lesbians, but I don't think. See, that's a weird thing about it. Is the gynocracy would the gynocracy be considered? I guess it would be considered lesbians, because a lot of these lesbians, especially in the black community, they have kids in their lesbian. They have kids running behind their lesbian relationship. That is sometimes true. So I guess you can look at it that way, but it's just not a term that you would ever hear me kind of use in real life. This nigga said I'm all for the man to see proof. Hey man, I think if your name is Valdez and you are that, I mean, honestly, I mean, I think it's obvious that he's a biracial guy. I mean, I think it's obvious.
So
I ain't, I
obviously you
mean,
cannot
I ain't
speak
mad
as
at him.
freely as you can. There's an obvious difference between an overt goofball gangster and the white side. Those dudes are hardcore as fuck, not a race thing. Um,
I do agree with him because there's this. The reason I'm gonna tell you I agree with him on that, because there's this white boy over there that dropped. He was so bad he got kicked out of the neo-Nazi um group. Yeah, he got
what you
kicked
say? He
out
was so hey, he was too bad for the neos,
twice.
huh?
No, bro, he got kicked out twice. This nigga named Luigi. Cause I talk shit with Luigi. I talk shit to Luigi all the time. I be fucking with Luigi. I be trolling him sometimes. Cause he whatever MGTOW Absolute. The white boy was talking to MGTOW Absolute that time.
Yes,
He be over
I
there,
know
so
what
he
you
be Luigi be over there sometimes. Now, those white boys, I ain't gonna lie, they do train with guns, hunting, and they do a lot of boots to the ground shit rather than just Valdez is just a character. Oh yeah, but they do a lot of real shit rather than just sit in their car talk shit and tell you that they got guns. These niggas actually go out there and practice. I mean, this is real shit though. I mean, they really do.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, fellas. Get your firearms up, get your training up, practice. You know, try to go to some real live simulations, like how we have out here. You know, try to get yourself into some real world training instead of just being inside. Because more than likely you're gonna use your firearm outside. So try to get some outside training as well. Um, you know, for lack of better terms, you see how they do with the little military and the police and shit like that. Try to get some of that type of training, so that way you can get better at uh, firearms. And as a matter of fact, that's something I think that we should make a show about that. E, what you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the dude that I was gonna get to go, because he also not only he do training, he also does a lot of licensure and conceals and stuff. But I mean, like I said, I'm not even in Dallas right now, so can't get with him right now. But I can, but I lost his number, so I actually know where he's at in Dallas though. When I haven't found too many brothers that have the expertise in weapons outside of that guy, because a lot of the brothers I talk to, they know about guns, but they don't have no true expertise. So I don't want just a regular nigga that be running around the streets with guns to come up here and talk about guns, you know.
Right, right. So check this out. So we kind of got an idea what the gynocracy is, what a gynocrat is. Um, okay, they got this deal here called the habosexual, a man that uses sexual prowess while pretending to be in a relationship to procure a place to stay with a woman. Well,
Mhm.
I don't. Oh, is that a hobo? Is that a
Hobo, yeah,
hobosexual? Oh, it look like
hobosexual.
a A. So okay, so it's a hobosexual. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. He doesn't find gainful employment and no life plans. I wonder who wrote this shit. As soon as the
Valdez.
opportunity presents itself, for him to do better, he immediately leaves the situation.
How is that a homosexual? Look, what they're explaining it, all they're explaining it, all this shit is just real life. A nigga fell on bad. See in that definition, it doesn't make sense. Reread. So look at that. So it says,
Because
um,
okay, so first of all, you got to understand who's writing this. It's the girls who's writing this shit. Okay, it's not the man. It's
because it
not
don't make
Holman who's
sense.
writing this. It don't make fucking sense.
It says he doesn't have gainful employment and no life plans.
But
So,
as soon
but as
as the
soon,
opportunity presents itself for him to do better, he immediately leaves the situation.
how does that make sense,
It
man?
don't make look in my Bernie Mac voice as best I can. It don't make no motherfucking sense.
Like that was so confusing. If he has no plans, he wants no gainful employment. When the opportunity to get better, he would squander it. He would lose it. So how would he be? How could he do better if how could a homosexual eventually do better if that's what they are? This is just real life, man. Some people fall on bad times and they need help. And then when they get help, they take the help and they move on.
Right,
Thanks for allowing me a place to lay my head. The problem that it becomes a homosexual is when you don't get to control that person. When that person gets to get up and say, "Thank you for your help, but I'm moving on with my life." That's not a homosexual. That's just somebody that fell on bad times.
bad times.
That's
And,
it.
and wait a second. And what does that? I wonder is that a term? Is that a term that applies? Because when you think about that term, right? If you see, okay, let's stop with this shit here. This is what I'm telling you guys about reading this shit, and then you must learn how to read and comprehend quickly. A homosexual is a man.
Yeah, there's no way that a woman could be a homosexual,
There's no fucking way. Right.
even though she could technically. There's no that term is not in reference to a woman at all.
At
At all.
all. And you know that these goddamn women are some fucking hobos out here. You know, wait,
That's
first
what
of all,
a sugar
the
baby
fucking
is.
women, right. These fucking women are broke. But a hobo is a man who uses his sexual prowess as if he has that much fucking game. Because if a woman is pulling up to be with a man or something like that, well, first of all, if he's a fucking hobo, then how is he being taken in? Doesn't that say a lot about the woman who's taking him in?
Bro, it has gotten so far about that homosexual conversation. They have accused. I'm just saying. I don't know if this is true, but they have accused black women of doing. some of that crazy white boy shit. You know when they said when they had this thing where white boys were kidnapping the homeless and shit and doing stuff to them. Well, they accused black women of doing the same thing. They said the black women are kidnapping men from the bus stops and from the corners, taking these niggas home and doing experiments on them. Like real shit.
Hey, what was that movie that Bobby Brown was in? Damn it. Bobby Brown was in the fucking movie and he was supposed to be this fucking, what is it, a hobosexual. Give me a second, because I'm gonna look this shit up. Give me a second, because Bobby Brown, he don't do many movies, so.
And I get what social justice is saying, how the definition makes sense. I get what he's saying, but at the same time, it makes sense and it don't make sense. And I know that sounds weird because I get exactly what he's saying because social justice is breaking it down to like a logical point. But if you read the definition as is, it's not really that logical. But I get what he's saying. I get what you're saying.
I think it's Two could play that game or some shit. When he plays the guy, yeah, it's Two could play that game or something. Yeah, when he plays the guy, he plays I guess the hobosexual. Let me see. So let me see what social justice is saying. Who is that? Carrot Top as the picture.
Yeah, he got Carrot Top in there.
Carrot Top, yeah.
He got Carrot Top in there. That shit look crazy.
The definition makes perfect sense. Black women are known to seek out controlling relationships in which the man is fully dependent. Obviously, that dude is living under duress and will eventually leave. Well, I mean, yeah, because I mean they started doing crazy shit like, asking them at 4:00 in the morning to go get up and go get them. Can you go get me a cup of water? I don't sleep. I said I need a cup of water. Oh shit, I gotta get up for this bitch put me out tonight. All right.
So I think that's what one of the boys were accusing these women of picking up homeless niggas. Real talk. They accuse. I don't know. Now some black women might have did this shit and really rode up in the Nissan Altima, pulled up beside the nigga and said, "You homeless? Get in the car." And the nigga said, "You right. I am homeless. I am gonna get in the car." Then they went to his house. They went to her house and they got a bath, got some grits, some bacon, and this is home now. This is home now. Got a little shade. Yeah. Bath. This is home.
A meal, some pussy. Oh man, this is wonderful.
So pretty much a homosexual is a live-in sex slave if you really want to keep it real. It'd be the same. It'd be the same as you going to find if you found a woman that was living in poverty and she was at the soup kitchen and you poured up on her ass. You said, "Look, I know you tired of soup, but come eat some bread at my house." And
right,
it's same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. But I guess the difference is that next week, the following week, has won a Birkin bag.
Oh, she can go from bread to Birkin bags.
1 week, bitch, you gotta go get another one. All right, so hyena, a gynocrat, typically a female who practices gynocratic beliefs of rulership by women, right? So now the question now is that this hobosexual, right, being sought after by hyenas? So coming from the analogy made by the popular YouTube personality, the Angry Man. So Angry Man must come up with this term hyena too, right? So what the hell does he do? He sit around and write for the dictionary all day?
Nah, this nigga Angry Man be trying to. So it's very interesting, right? He tries to come up with his own lingo and own talk. Now that if you look over there at that word Jonathan, right? I hate to skip around. We look over that Jonathan. Who else have you heard?
Yeah, Sheep Stay Sleep. Yeah, I seen that one too.
Well, not only John. This is why Angry Man is beefing with Kevin Samuels right now over that little terms like Jonathan, because Kevin Samuels was referring to some of the guys as Jonathans and all these other shit, all these other terms that were coming up with, or now actually they were nouns that they were trying to. There were nouns that they were defining. So Jonathan is a noun, it's a name. And then they just try to put a definition to it, and that's what it's why him and Kevin Samuels is beefing right now because he came up with these definitions and he said I don't want nobody to use them unless they give me props, but that people don't use words that you don't give the Webster dictionary or the Webster thesaurus props every time you use a word out of it.
Right. Just
So
real quick, Ty, what's going on, man? So my question is that are they trying to use these slang terms to try to mean something because you can't say certain slang terms on YouTube? Is this it? I'm trying to understand, like, are they trying to use this as a form of communication, right? Because let's just take the word Jonathan, right? Mm-hmm. A Jonathan is a man who readily pays for prostitutes. What do we know that as?
Trick.
It's a trick.
I told you this is real life. This is nothing but real life shit that they tried to throw another term on.
Right.
It's real life.
Yeah. Okay.
Matter of fact, if you want to keep it real for me, he stole that from because Jonathan is a long-term version of what we originally called a John.
A John.
Exactly.
Right. So, I mean, it's nothing new. This is nothing new. But as we all know, you got women who's writing this shit, right? Because the list actually this particular glossary, not a list, this particular glossary could have probably been about 50 words. Okay, so let's get back to hyena, right? This is just take a hyena for what the fuck it is. Whatever it sounds like, just take it for what it is, because with this much of see, this is not like a definition. This is more like an encyclopedia of you see where I'm going with this?
This is Wikipedia. This is Wikipedia. this is the nigga version of Wikipedia. This is the nigga version of
Wikipedia. Yeah, because this is not really a a definition. Okay. This is not a definition. Okay, so the word hoe 304 is a clever way of saying hoe without saying the actual term. It derives from the fact that you took a calculator, put 304, turn it upside down, you can spell the word hoe. All right. Let's see.
Bro, that's not new. We did that.
We did that shit all the way back in fucking grammar school.
We did. When we found out how to do that shit in elementary school.
Yeah.
We never stopped doing it. We
like, actually, when they first came out with calculators, we learned how to do that.
You learn how to do that. Like it's like it's almost like when they came out with computers and they came out with Word, you knew how to put in 11 plus 2 planes and then some 911 shit to pop up. Remember that shit when they had that trick on Windows?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just that's a real glitch in the system that they put in there on purpose. But that hoe is just fucking numbers. Like, but check this, yo. Check this. What is the precursor to letters?
Numbers.
So this shit. So what they're doing is not new. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun.
So let's just take this one. You got this word here, Maggie. Now, Maggie is the male equivalent to stray. Now, if you see this, what is the female equivalent to a homosexual? See, this is what the fuck I keep telling y'all about women being involved in your shit. Because the male equivalent of a strag, regarded as a man who is part of or believes in and upholds the tenets of the gynocracy, right? He is irredeemably blue pilled in his thinking. And due to that part of his masculinity, it will be deficient or compromised. Now, why couldn't he just be blue pill? Why you got to be a Maggie? So
Because
this is
you got
something
to
that's
shame them. Got to shame them.
you got to shame him, right?
One of the funniest things happened today, yo. So I had to keep bringing this nigga name up. I listened to his shit earlier. While I was getting ready to I know get ready to lay down. You listen to people content and you pass out, go to sleep, right? Sometimes. And
Nicer,
this
what's
nigga,
happening?
what's up, nice? Yeah, this nigga Taz called himself Michael Luther King, bro. That shit, that shit's. I'm not gonna lie, that shit's funny, yo. Michael Luther King.
Let's go, Mago. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Nicer. Oh, so the male equivalent. So the male equivalent of a homosexual is a gold digger, or I guess the female equivalent. But
Okay.
the female equivalent stays as a gold digger, right? So she's
Do hold
supposed
on,
to.
hold on. That's a good question. Do gold diggers All gold diggers what they call hypergamous? Would they hop up and leave with the best? Do gold diggers pick up and leave with the best opportunity? That is a good question. Cause they said that a homosexual, he ain't gonna stay there. He's gonna eventually, as a man, he's gonna eventually get off his ass. So
Right.
they said, so look, do gold diggers eventually get off their ass?
All right. This whole male nurture thing, and I'm just gonna skip down here for the sake of time because we're not gonna spend too much time on all these damn definitions. But I'm just picking out some things that kind of sticks out, right? So it says his manhood is characterized by establishing order, creating culture, and naturally having a sense having the desire to offer the four P's as developed by Dr. Spencer Holman, which are provision, problem solving, protection, and procreation. Um, hmm. So if that's in a male's nature, his nature exists to achieve a specific outcome or fulfillment. Well, then you have this male orbiter, a man who believes in his friendship with the woman is not platonic. He has a romantic interest in the woman, um, which are often not reciprocated. He is typically one of two types: indirect and direct, but declined. Okay, so they're just trying to make up shit here to try to make it seem like things are more complicated than what it is. Um, because that's the very definition of a simp. A simp does the same thing.
I guess the female version of a male orbiter would be the red shirting, right? You don't know if you like her or not. You just gotta go, you just got her around. I guess that's what red shirting is.
Yeah,
Bro, I don't know if we can even live our lives are not being dictated by terms though. I mean, life is just reality. I mean, you got some guys that, hey, so this is so weird, right? This is kind of weird, man, because they say male orbiter, but then historically women wanted guys to chase, right?
right.
So how do you chase or how do you get at or spit game get at a woman without being around her? You have to somewhat orbit. That's just why they came with the
Right.
direct. They came with the direct orbiter and the indirect. But I mean, it's you like her
Well,
you around her.
the whole thing is that the reason why none of this shit is really working how it's supposed to is because it's being perverted. Right. The women are supposed to orbit around men. Right. They're supposed to compete for male attention. Right. I think that all of this leading up to this point, including the prison industrial complex and all of this other shit, was to make men weak and to make them ultimately confused. All right. Because everything about this shit is all twisted upside down. So women by nature are supposed to seek the attention of men, right? That's just their nature. I mean, you can even okay, so even if you believe in the Bible, right? I'm gonna tell you how Eve got Adam's attention. She brought back the goddamn devil. She got his attention then. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that women are supposed to get a man's attention. Why? Because they seek attention, they seek approval, they seek these type of things, right? So they are supposed to do the entertaining. Now everything, because everything has been flipped and perverted, so it's been flipped upside down. Now the men are trying to seek women attention. The men are being the entertainers. You know, the men are acting like fucking monkeys over women. This is the reason why the whole thing is thrown out of whack. Okay, men are not supposed to orbit around women. The exact opposite is supposed to happen.
That's very I get that. That's true, but the reality of it is it's easier to put men in order because I do believe that guys are starting to live their life by these definitions. I do believe
They
that.
are.
But the thing about it is the reason why it doesn't convert over to women is women are not going to live their life based off a definition. They're just not. That's probably partly why you don't want to draft their ass because they not going to fight the way that you told them to fight on that battlefield. They're just not going to.
Right.
They're not gonna say that's your trench. A, that's your trench. C, y'all fight there and y'all stay there. Y'all fight. You better not retreat. They're not gonna do that. They're not. So
Okay,
none of this stuff is gonna work with women.
to put everything in perspective, the man is the sun, the women are the planets. When it's a woman's job to go around the man. The man has life. The sun is a production of all life on in the galaxy. When you see stars, right? You know, those are suns that's out there. They're so bright that we can see them. Okay? The man is the fucking sun. He's the alpha and omega, the start, the beginning of all life. And the women are attracted to it. All right. Let me get to some of these comments. Says the homosexual does not get back on his feet. The homosexual is constantly balancing his terrible life circumstances and suckling from the teat of the domineering black woman. He may leave out of exhaustion. What, sexual exhaustion? That shit's funny.
Okay, so they're saying that he just leaves out of exhaustion and he waits on another woman to come take care of. I get that.
Okay, so Nino says that they want men to be in sync on their talking points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these terms make sense. Black people are a large struggle of enforcing concrete meanings. The issue is exacerbated by black people's struggles with logic and reason. Okay, so you got to understand something. These are not fucking definitions. All right, this is like a I don't know. Did they call it a fucking glossary? Right, because this is just what this is. This is yeah, it is. It's just a glossary of terms. It's not necessarily definitions. So I can see what Nino is saying. They're just trying to put everybody on what they call code or the same page. No one's living life according to any of the definitions. The definitions are just meant to assign meaning to actors, dynamics, philosophies, etc., so that there are so effective communication can occur. You know what? I don't think that effective communication can occur. I think that it's a bunch of shaming, a bunch of sign language.
So I get what social justice is trying to say. I trust me, I get it because I've been in the black manosphere, so I get what he's saying. I'm talking about the actual application of this stuff. I get what he's saying. No. I actually get what the brother's saying, but I just don't think the application of these things pan out like that. To me, it just doesn't.
Okay, so you come down here, you got these political terms, men's rights activists, the men's rights movement, which I don't think a lot of guys even ever heard of. NAWALT, so NAFALT's an acronym for Not All Women Feminists Are Alike. No, wait, hold on a second. Maybe I didn't say that right. Not all women or females are like that. Used as a common talking point, typically made to dismiss men's observation of negative female behavior. Which we all know all females are like that. Okay, octanes. Now we're going to get to the real crux of this shit. Right? Look at this term octane or octanes. And I think we all know who that term belongs to. Yeah. I'm not even about to read this shit because we all know that it comes from the personality of BGS Idmore. I've heard it, and it seems like this is just a few ways of describing the same woman. Right?
Yeah, because technically, if you that octane, gas is gas. Like
Gas is gas.
Women are women. Are there
Okay.
levels to it? Yeah.
So if you're trying to say 89, what is it? 87, 89, and 91?
It's all gas. Is what level of it can your vehicle handle?
Exactly. So okay. You guys have the link. The link is in the chat. Let me see. Let me put some more stuff up here. So a lot of those guys get mad if you do not use the term. Do not use these terms, or if you do not know what the terms mean, and they want to punish you or shame you. Yeah, they do, because I didn't know a lot of these terms, and I think that unless you read this damn glossary, they won't know what some of these terms are in there as well. Actually, some of them sound rather, I want to say gay.
Well,
Well,
one thing about it, if you don't use these terms, then you're part of the gynocracy. You're a maggle. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, yo. They may be better at shaming men than women. They
right.
may be better at shaming men than
And this
women.
is what I'm talking about, right? I figured that if you start reading these things, you'll start seeing that it's, that women are writing this shit. So Ty says, he said that's all the conversation. Yeah, it is. We know BGS wrote it. Yeah, BGS came out with the octane chart. Oh, it's a chart. I would really like to see that shit.
Oh yeah, it is a chart, bro. It breaks down from like 87 to 89 to like the 91 to 93. But I'm like, it is a chart to it. It is a chart, and each chart has its own description, right? It has this like, if you were to buy 87 octane, they'll tell you what's in the 87 octane, or you were to buy, the different octanes, they'll tell you what they actually consist of. I get it, but it's all just gas, though.
Right, it's all gas. Now, check this out. BTS and them, the funny thing about the baby boomers is that, when the octanes came out, that was some new revolutionary shit. To go to the gas station and be able to pick different types of gas. So I could probably see why he could, that's revolutionary, what he thought in his mind. So if anybody has the chart, send it to me. I think that would be if you guys a chart and a graph, yeah, if anybody has that, see if you can forward that over to me. I would really like to see that. Okay, I've never heard of opponentship. It's a term coined by Dr. Spencer to describe the feminist programming on black women to see black men as her opponent and therefore assumes an adversarial role towards him. I don't think that's a feministic thing. Black women have all, well, when slavery happened and you see your man being, you see a black man being strapped across a pommel horse and being done in until he dies, the black woman ceases to be your opponent at that point because she knows who's in charge. And with that comes along a totally different level in the psyche. Black women do not think that they are our opponents. They think that they are weaker than that we are weaker than them. So they don't look at us as something to compete with. They look at us as something that's already kind of like, we're just like this foregone conclusion, like, eventually we're going to be phased out. So this term here is a term that should not even be in, it's like a term that shouldn't even be here. But this is what he comes up with. Okay, so we know what a patriarchy is, a pygmy. We know what that is, pride rock. I mean, basic definitions that they put in here. Okay, PUA, a pickup artist, protection. Purple pill. So purple pill refers to a person between who is between the blue pill and the red pill reality. Okay, so this whole purple pill thing, I think they made up for somebody like Jay-Z. Because it's The Rock and everybody wants to be like The Rock. So, son, you got to make a appeal for me. I guess my Jay-Z voice. Okay, so Nino says that the BGS is smart. He did a reading on me live on his show, and he was 98% right about me. Oh, okay.
Nah, fuck that. Don't believe in that tarot card, astrology reading shit. Because BGS is a gynocrat his damn self. Who the hell have you known to historically read palms and read cards? Who actually does this kind of work?
Fucking Dionne Warwick.
But mainly women do that shit now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
you don't see a bunch of. That's what I'm saying. So BGS is a gynocrat with his damn cards. If you don't put them damn BGS put them damn cards down, nigga.
Okay, so this whole red pill deal, right? Here it is again, referring to the Matrix, but here it is again, more dumb shit. So the red pill represents an understanding, the understanding of the world as it truly exists, rather than a fantasy version. It refers to the understanding and accepting of reality as it truly is, rather than the construct rooted in lies and half-truths. Now, here's the deal about being red-pilled. And I don't know if you guys seen the new Matrix, right? The new Matrix. The new Matrix talked about being the whole red pill, blue pill deal, right? Now, the red pill, although you take the red pill and you do come to some sort of reality, you do think about how things should be. That's what makes you take the damn pill in the first place. All right? Because, or the reality that you're in is not the reality that you want. I don't know if that makes sense.
Now that made perfect sense. I think
so. It's not a fantasy.
Either I'm gonna do an after stream or something like that about that, because that's the only way that you get to a red pill. Because the ignorance and bliss of the blue pill, you didn't get to experience ignorance is bliss in a blue pill. Just living your life as is. You had to make your life make sense because you weren't getting it out of a natural life. I now yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So, Ty, I'm interested in this whole 100% octane is an ugly woman that got a lot of money. I'm interested in that. Let's see. Social Justice says, respectively, hey, man, y'all is hitting me with these comments for real. I guess when past the $40 show up, everybody show up, huh? You bring the party with you, bro?
Nah, man, I just be talking shit on the internet, bro.
Hey, respectfully, black men have developed a very extreme prejudice against intellectualism. Not true. Not true. Though I believe some ideas are over complex, we should strive to be smarter. Now, the word smart actually means a stinging pain, first of all. You got to kind of look that one up. But I understand where it is that you're going with this. I don't think we have a disdain or prejudice against intellectualism. I think the way that so the root word of intellectualism is intellect. Well, that's part of it. But the root word to that is intel.
Yeah,
data, information, how we get it and how it's processed. Okay, so the men don't have a prejudice against it. It's the women, because of the conditioning of black people. The conditioning of the black woman is niggas are not supposed to learn. And then she's been told to tell us, not only are you not supposed to learn because it's not safe for you to learn, mass are gonna hurt you. So if you will see, black male valedictorians and salutatorians, right? They're not widespread amongst Ivy League colleges because it's not popular for us to be intellectual, because how we use our intellect just might get us killed, or the intel, the information, and how we process it. So it's all a survival, supposed to be like this inbred survival mechanism, but it's getting to the point where the sisters don't care whether or not we live or die. And the reason being is because they stopped even caring about themselves. So it's like being on this massive slave ship all over again, to where, because what a lot of people don't know is that the women, they just start throwing themselves overboard. Once they realize, especially the pregnant ones, once they realize that, if we're going to get this treatment on the ship on our way over there, imagine how it's going to be once we get there. So it's a protective mechanism, but now it's to the point where they're just like, look, we just need to become obsolete altogether. So they don't mind divesting. They prefer black men, but the way of thinking and with all of these definitions, this is bringing about a new way of thinking that is not healthy for anybody. Hold on a second. Let's see who we got in the bag. Casual observer. Anybody know who that is? I don't, but I don't want anybody popping up, kind of crazy. All right. He says Psychic Friends Network. That's right, Nino. Casual observer, you got it, bro.
What's up?
What's going on?
Chilling, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
That's actually my alter ego. I'm that redheaded white guy too.
Oh, okay, all right, there you go.
Yeah,
all right, bro. So what you got? What you got to add?
Yeah, I just want to say that this was a very interesting stream. I enjoyed commenting. I was just when I'm on my phone, I'm a social justice, and my usual account is a casual observer.
Okay, all right. So go
Yeah,
ahead, fire away, bro. Tell me
yeah.
what's in your
I
mind.
wouldn't attribute the situation we have with black women actively sabotaging their men, their husbands, and their sons to slavery. If you look at our situation in the UK, Finland, Canada, Denmark, black women
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing because I just think black women are just uh, innately predisposed to identify with feminism over identifying with their own men.
Interesting. So for that type of conversation, you have to take it back, right? So so let's kind of take it back to, or let's go to our nature, the natural state, right? Are you a white guy? Hello.
Fuck no. Damn no.
Okay. All right. So because I want to just so for the sake of the conversation. All right. So there's two different types of men on this planet: black men and white men. Everyone else is a combination of in between. Okay. All right. So with that being said, you have these two groups of guys, and these two groups of guys are born out of two totally different circumstances, right? So you have black men who come from a system of abundance, right? So there's a system of no lack, a system of abundance, a system of life and living, right? For white guys, there's a system of lack. So in that system of lack, there's a system of stress, there's a system of fear, there's a system of war, fighting, no peace, nothing, right? So to put it simply, the difference between black and white is the black man sees the glass as half full, white man sees the glass as half empty, right? Now, you take those two groups and you try to merge those two groups together. The one group that is going to try to take over because of fear, because remember, their glass is always half empty, right? So they can never see, no matter how much they have in their glass, it's always half empty, right?
I agree. Sorry to interject. I agree,
Go
but
ahead, go ahead.
if you look at the way most well, I guess this isn't necessarily a disagreement. The way I kind of see things is, if you look at the way Chinese people behave, Arab people behave, Indian people behave, they all follow that set behavioral paradigm where they see the world a certain way and they seek conquest in order to get as many of the resources in the environment for themselves as possible. It's only
Well,
us that
because
see things a different way.
because they're white.
And actually, I do think black men as well too do see the world the same way. Is just um, with the way the manner in which the women tend to raise their boys mitigates their ability to pursue that set kind of behavioral pattern, because that tends to be what males tend to seek out across well, obviously with humans, but across the animal kingdom. I just think the situation we have where the women just want to castrate their men in this way creates a situation in which some of our innate kind of behavioral tendencies are suppressed just because of the influence of the women.
All right, so let's unpack that, right? You got to take conditioning into play. So it's not the fact that they want to. We're being forced down this pattern, right? So uh, if you look at the ecosystem is not the same how it was 1,000 years ago.
Respectfully, but this is happening in every country, and regardless of whether or not black people have a lineage to slavery.
Okay, so we're talking about a group of African Americans, right? Which we are a special group. The mainland people here, African Americans, black people, we are a peculiar, a very particular, very different group of people, right? And then you have the rest of the world. Well, the rest of the world, they were forced. Everyone, this earth is one big ass slave ship. And you are forced, you are bound by fear to do, you're forced, okay, at the threat of a gun to do what is being told, right? So if you don't, then that's the end of you. If you condition people that way, then of course, how you're going to start acting socially is going to be totally different.
I agree with what you're saying. Obviously, the legacy of slavery and colonialism cast a very long shadow. Is just the way I see things. If you look at the white community as well too, the white community is suffering from a lot of the same things we're suffering from now, where feminism has taken such a strong hold of their community that they're literally facing extinction.
White folks ain't suffering.
So
actually, they are, bro.
What not extinction in the absolute sense, because obviously that would be a very they're obviously going to be they are going to exist, but the extinction thing refers to the rate at which their population is dropping, so their birth rate, and also if you look at their achievement rates as well too. Their achievement rates are dropping like precipitously just by the influence of feminism on their population.
Okay, can I stop you right there?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because the one thing that people like to do is keep making points and keep going on and on and on and on and on. Okay, I promise you, we will have time for conversation. I'm not going to kick you off the show if you disagree with me. Right? I know people that do that. Right? This is not that space. Okay. So let's talk about white people and population and their population, right? Because it's a trick. White people, it's a trick.
It's a good trick too.
Okay, it's a damn good trick. So let me explain to you. White people are not experiencing a negative birth death rate simply because they can't have babies, right? Men are the one who control society. So if they wanted to have children, right? Only thing they have to do is get rid of the Plan B, the condom, and the birth control pill.
Or they would do what they did on Mother's Day in Germany. Mother's Day in Germany, the Nazis said, "You white women ain't pumping out enough babies. Get to work." Literally.
Get to work.
Literally what they did.
I agree in the absolute sense. Men wield power and they could use that power in order to do whatever it is that they want. Is just in a free and modern society where the society itself is organized around laws, banning things like contraceptives isn't necessarily something within the realm of what's possible, because if you were to undermine the basic statutory the basic constitutional laws that would make these things available, then that would undermine the society at large.
Well, first of all, there's not a constitutional law. Second of all, only thing the government has to do is say stop producing them.
The government can't just ban.
Here. No, they can't just ban them. You know what they'll just tell their buddies? Hey, we have a shortage on plastic or whatever. You know, just halt production and say that there's an issue for 6 months or a year or 2 years.
Inflate the price of condoms. Another thing, the reason why white
respectfully, that's not practical.
Right. Or you can inflate you can inflate the price. $50 a condom.
That is practical because look,
the Chinese would just ship it here from their Chinese warehouses.
Oh no, we'll put an embargo or something like that, and you know, no shit from China. Look, there's all these different types of ways.
If oil costs, then condoms can cost.
No, but the issue is when you organize your society in the way that it's organized now, you can't just make drastic moves like that. And also from you don't have to make it drastic. You can make it subtle. That's not subtle because condoms. There's no way there could be a shortage. You could always just import them very cheaply
Okay,
in
so
large
just like
containers from China.
okay, so how about this? How
Ooh.
about the U.S.? How about the U.S. order a bunch of condoms from China, a bunch of B-rated condoms from China that's designed to bust when you use them? How about that?
And this is another reason why I have to go against what he just
The
said
U.S.
about.
doesn't supply condoms; the stores do, and
No,
they
what I'm
work.
saying. No, what I'm saying is that I want you to understand when I'm talking about the U.S. I'm talking about the corporations. I'm talking about the machine. Just like the
But it
baby
would be against
boomers.
the
So just
interest
so
of the corporations to not sell the condoms.
no, but what I'm explaining to you is this: is that there's not a negative birth death rate. It's happening by design.
And to prove what he's saying, I get what you're saying, bro. But to take this prove that it's wrong, the U.S. Virgin Islands is still U.S. territory. You go down there and purchase a pack of condoms and see how much it costs. This is serious. Go down there and pack. Go down
But
there, see one of them pretty island girl. Go down there and see you one, right? And
Mhm.
then say, oh, I'm gonna buy me some condoms. That has sex with her.
but
Yeah.
but
See how
but
much they cost.
but in that case, that's an issue of supply and demand. Just as if you want to buy a condom
What?
from if you want to buy a condom, for example, from a convenience stores, they're going to be markups on certain products. Or if you're living in certain U.S. territories
No, they
where
want
bringing
them
in
to have
products
babies.
isn't
They
practical,
want
then things
they want
cost
them
more.
they want them to have babies there. They want you to have babies. Listen, th- things can be cheap here. Do you know what the earned income child tax credit is?
It was like at one point it was like $4,000.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, do you know
They pulled
what
it
it
back
is?
though.
Do you know what it is and why it was instituted?
No, I do not know what it actually is.
Okay,
I know the kind of money it bring in. That's about it.
right. The earned income child tax credit was an incentive that was given to married people after the Vietnam War because of how many guys died over there. So what it was an incentive to do was it incentivized you to have children. And so you got the tax break for the child once you had them. Why? Because you needed the extra income to take care of the child. So it was an incentive to have children. That's what it is. That's the reason why all of these sisters is out here having babies so they can get the money. It incentivizes them. All right. So we got to understand that these are things that the government can do. So we're acting as if the government cannot fix the problem. Actually, the government is the one that started the problem. Understand, it was the government that came up with this whole abortion idea. It was the government that came up with all of this uh let's with these planned parenthoods and let's give out all of these different ways for a woman not to have a baby. It was
I, I
them.
I agree
Go
with
ahead, go ahead.
you, but the government isn't a sentient actor. But what I will say is, white supremacists have used, for example, the Planned Parenthood, abortion, and also financial support for women as weapons in order to destabilize the black family. That is historically accurate,
Okay,
and it's
so
backfired in their community because now feminism is also the feminist white women are also using the same tools against them.
well, all right. Go
Can I give y'all a quick synopsis? I'll only be like 15 seconds, man.
ahead, go
I
ahead, go
see
ahead.
feminism and what you're saying as a way for, because look, historically, white men had a problem with child support and taking care of their kids. So if you still want power and control, you let your women go out here and become lesbians and have brown babies because they feel like they'll still have domain over whatever their women do. So like the Bolsheviks in India, they might have went into India and made the caste system. White women, white red haired women might have went there and and procreated all the new Indians, but white men still had control over her production. That's the problem that I'm starting to see with this whole us worried about actual white baby numbers. It doesn't do anything with white male white men trying to take control. Like, despite the numbers in babies, they're still going to find a way to get control.
Generally speaking, just culturally and historically, white people are still maintaining a certain level of power over the public institutions of the country. But if you look at the manner in which Chinese, Arab, Indians are setting up within this country, those three ethnic groups are dominating, for example, education, commerce, real estate. And this in turn is leading to them having a greater amount of influence that they once did. And also, if you look at, for example, the not only are I'll make this short, but white people producing less babies, they're also producing less talented, less productive babies. So they do have power now. And yes, they have been able to wield power with a disproportionately low amount of people. But to say that their numbers don't matter is a bit disingenuous.
Well, it's not the fact, to me, it's not the fact that their numbers don't matter. Here's what is what black people, I don't think, understand about white people. They're very calculated and they're very methodical. Right. And they're very good at playing the propaganda game and also the victim. America is great at playing the victim. Look around the world and America will tell you, hey, we don't have the best healthcare system. We don't have the best educational system. We don't have the best anything. Right. But yet and still, you see every other group of people from around the world who want to come to America. Right. Go ahead, get in here, bro.
Dude, I was trying to twist my hair, and I wasn't going to come up here. Not on attack on you, casual observer. How old are you?
24.
Okay, see, sometimes we have to see life for what it is away from what we think it should be. If you start living just a little bit longer, you will see since the beginning of time what has been happening. I know you probably was raised in a different kind of environment, but these things have been going on forever, meaning, yeah, they got a lot of that going on. They even have a whole movement now in this day and time where it's just strictly women, colorless, where a feminist movement is going on, starting with Me Too. Okay, so I get where you're coming from, but what you're saying is selective. I'll say this because the people, white women way back in the 60s and the 70s.
Sorry, what specifically do you disagree with?
What I disagree with is you saying that they're being disingenuous about, people saying, oh, the white people are you said that they was disingenuous. That's
well, maybe disingenuous was the wrong term, wrong word to use. But what I was describing was, basically just erase disingenuous. What I was just describing is just, the numbers do play a role in it, and also just the quality of the children they're producing is also different.
Don't think that, brother. Don't think I'm trying to attack you. And I understand that the numbers do play a role, but sometimes those are only numbers that were reported, and sometimes only in white America.
So the reason why I don't think the numbers matter is because you look at African Americans, we are the per capita percentage wise one of the smallest groups in America. But yet African Americans have a worldwide. So there is some black privilege, and we don't even want to talk about it because African Americans have a world. we don't want to admit it. Like, I don't want to actually admit it either. But there is some black privilege, right? And
Herb,
Okay. So what are you saying? We have a worldwide influence?
Look,
yes.
There is
That's marketing. That's marketing. That means that it's good business for white people. Listen. Hold on a second, Nino. People must understand white supremacy racism is a worldwide business. It is a religion. Understand what it is. Just hold on a second. I'm gonna let you make your point. It is a religion. Okay, and this religion works off of profits and losses. It works off of profits and losses. Everything is used as a tool in this particular religion. And Jesus Christ and capitalism is it's Jesus Christ. It's the savior of the religion. Go ahead, Nino.
Yeah, there is a privilege, and that's a privilege, just like the privilege they had for the fucking PPP loans. Everybody didn't get the bitches. You know what I'm saying? So they did open up the floodgates for black people, in some ways. And that's sometimes to say, hey, we weren't biased against black folk. Now, what I'm getting at is you have a lot of people who are awarded opportunity. I mean, awarded chances, but they don't get the same opportunities. Fair or unfair, if I could say it that way.
Yeah, cause that's the argument that I was having on over there on B1 with because one brother said, okay, I was held down because I sold crack, and the other brother was up as a mayor, Marion Barry, and he was up, so he shouldn't have been able to smoke crack. I said, no, that's not true. We all had the black privilege. We had the national privilege of having deals with crack, whether you sold it or whether you did it. There was a privilege to it on both sides.
It depends on your support system.
Well, that's true too. However, um,
but we're not white men. But so we got to say that we definitely are not.
Okay, so black people. I'm
not the black man that says, "Oh, the white man held me down." I'm not that, brother. But I got to tell you, you have to see life for what it is, away from what you think it should be. And I'm not talking about your education. I'm not talking to you, the man. I'm talking to casual observer. It has nothing to do with your talking points, whether you have white friends or you speak proper English or your education. Somewhere down the line, you are going to see that you are not equal.
Oh no, I agree with that 100%. I'm very outspoken actually against white supremacists.
Okay, good. I mean,
okay. So until everyone realizes that all white people are white supremacy, a white supremacist, then black people are going to continue to have a problem.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. I think in the black manosphere we have an issue with a lot of black men with their head in the sand, carrying water for the alt-right, MAGA, and all those synonyms for white supremacy.
Well,
I don't have a problem with it, but I have a problem with other black men who are Republicans who are shitting on other black men. Now, you can be Republican. I'm not either one of them. I'm not Democrat or Republican. But I have a problem with just listen. I have a problem when you go shitting on other black men and living this imaginary life where you just don't see things. Oh, I don't see color. Oh, I don't, you have these acrobat clowns that do this, and they mainly are over on TPOT's channel.
Okay, so let's stop here, right? Let me get you guys to try to understand something. The guy that was actually responsible for the spread of, it was actually maybe two guys, but the spread of white people across the planet, it was Alexander the Greek and Ptolemy the First, right? The reason why people herald this guy Alexander is because what he was able to recognize and to realize that their first issue and their first order of business was to deal with themselves first. So they had to stop a lot of infighting. Okay, they had to stop a lot of infighting. They had to stop all of the infighting in Greece to come together and to work together to start what they considered to be world domination at that point, right? And who was going to be the point person and who was going to do X, Y, and Z. It was him who came up with all of that. Now, basically what he did was he took a system of perfection that they got out of Africa because they studied in Africa, and then they turned it and they perverted it to fit their nature. So when you're dealing with this, when you're dealing with, coming out of your situation, the first thing that you have to do is deal with yourself and amongst yourselves. The issue is that with this glossary here, is that it continues the infighting, especially by putting coins to these terms, right? By putting definitions or putting words to what the guys are really trying to express, which actually shouldn't be here. But go ahead.
I don't have a problem with the terms. I think the alt right and like all those MAGA folk, they're very effective at coining terminology, code words, phrases that they know internally what those phrases mean. I think we as black men don't have the same. Like you said, their group of people. They tend to be all fighting on one accord, whereas
Okay,
on our side, we're still fighting even over the terms. But
let me stop you for a second. You said that he said that the alt right that they coined some terms, right? So give me a derogatory term that they use amongst each other.
Oh no, I'm not saying like against each other, among each other. There are certain phrases they use to refer to us. There are certain
So this is what I want you to get what it is that I'm saying here. These are terms that are used amongst each other against each other.
Oh no, I'm saying
like
that
if you get out, what he's saying, like if you get out of line, they're like, oh, you being a Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? Like you get what that's what he's saying. Like if you get out, they use these terms to keep each other on code. So it's against. So you can say it's for each other, but really it's against each other. Like you're held to this tax.
Well,
do
what
this
I got
tax.
out of it.
Okay, what MAGA term? So what term do the MAGA people? What term do they use amongst each other like that?
Okay, man, listen, just hear me out. I
I
get what
am.
he's saying. He's saying that they are a group of people who group think and work together as to where we as black men, we don't come together because we're too busy letting everybody in. You see what I'm saying? We can't, they have secret codes, secret words. They get the job done with each other, even though it's evil. They work together. Same thing with Asians, what they did to come up with the Asian hate bill. And even in my documentary, I wasn't shitting on them, but they did work together, although they did it in a vindictive way.
Okay, so again, I'm going to ask the question again. What term?
I understand your question. Nino's right in his interpretation of what I said, but your question is, do the alt-right and those Trump MAGA people have their own terminology for insulting each other to keep themselves in line? Is that what your question is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess one of them might be I guess liberal would be one of those terms, or Antifa would be used to refer to anybody that's an N-word lover.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't.
I'm glad you're here today, brother.
Pardon?
I'm glad you're here today. We're learning something.
It's true. And Antifa is any white person that sympathizes with black people, whether or not they're actively engaged in protesting.
Okay, so we get that as probably a glossary term, right?
Well, the problem that I have with Antifa is those are a lot of those are the poor white people that black people don't desire to actually even be around or with.
Yeah, and they only on our side because
they're poor.
They've become to the lowest of the totem pole, and that's even if they try to blend in with black people that are not even poor, or they're only going in because of a look. That's the same thing with someone who dates, who fetishizes on a black person, and they're only coming over because the white community kicked them out. Now they want black dick.
I agree entirely. And to build upon your point, I've had the experience in the workplace where I've had colleagues sympathize with the Black Lives Matter movement, But when the manner in which they'll speak about Black Lives Matter as if Black people have to qualify their humanity, as if they're kind of patronizing you and saying, no, I don't see you for being a Black person. I don't see you as something ugly or negative or anything like this. But if you change the dialogue so that you're talking about the racist being insecure and actually working from a position of inferiority, then suddenly they become very resentful.
Oh yeah, you see that a whole bunch, brother. You are smart. What part of the universe are you in?
Physics.
No, I said where are you, like geographically?
University of Oklahoma.
Oh, you're in Oklahoma. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you close to Texas, man. That's what's up, bro. We out
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm
Hell
in
yeah,
San Francisco.
man. But you ain't out
Sorry.
here in Texas. You ain't out here in Texas. No, you want to know who's holding the Black Manosphere down? North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Texas. Y'all out the Chicago. Y'all ain't holding this shit down. Chicago. I'll get y'all asses out of here.
Well, I blame the teaching of the newer generation. I blame their parents for not teaching them out here because they did not see color until the Black Lives Matter movement, George Floyd, all that, and they lost a lot of friends because the people they grew up with, who they thought were their friends, they jumped to the side with the Proud Boys. They jumped to the side with all these other groups, MAGA and all those, because I think even probably because they were afraid that they may get attacked. You know, same thing with the Asian.
Well, no, it's not that they're not afraid. What happens is that you got a lot of nigga loving, you got a lot of white boy loving niggas out here. That's the problem. Okay,
Yeah.
they think that because the white boy can give them a job, put some money in their pocket, stuff like that, that the white boy is going to treat them different than any place else. I think that it's up north where it's starting to go from bad to worse because the Northerners were the ones who could actually see the white man for who he was, right? But now,
like I also stated in the documentary, we have been conditioned to relate to others than to ourselves, and that's what you see out here, starting from Fresno, California. You don't see it as much in LA or further down south, but between in the valley from Fresno, California to Sacramento, which is the capital, Davis, with California State University, Davis, all the way down to San Francisco.
so
Even in Berkeley, as diverse as they say, but you could tell even in the education system, instead of them just saying African American studies, they say ethnic or sociology studies. And in order for them to have that, they had to come up with LGBTQ gender studies. And, they said, well, if we're going to do Black African American studies, we need one for LGBT. But still, what they don't understand, they still had people like Chicano studies, Asian studies as well. So what's wrong with having an all Black studies?
So I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have Caucasian studies?
They already have had it in the history, U.S. history.
No.
No. U.S. history, far as U.S. history. And when you look at Black people that are in those books they were only in Muslim clothing, which is only beige, which was slavery clothing. You even see it in the history of fashion, which I took.
But
And
I'm trying to get to something.
So, but the man, I see what you're getting at, but I think Nino was answering your question 100% correctly. So, Americanism or nationalism is something that's sold worldwide. African American studies is something that was sold more internationally. That end up going they end up because it was so like interdependent with the nationality of America, but then they end up selling it internationally with also Americanism, nationalism. So
do you guys know what the study? Do you guys know what Caucasian studies is called? It's called anthropology.
which is more of a worldwide effect.
No, it's the study of the white man.
Well, let's just say this, man.
Okay.
They got white man studies in all different subjects. They apply it to that so that you can be programmed. I got a fucking F in and and
I'm not laughing because you got the F.
the history of fashion because I brought up Equiano, if you know who he is, and I brought up what they wore. These
Hold on, he lying. He lying to us. Anthropology is not the study; it's the study of the. You a lying ass nigga.
What is anthropology?
Anthropology is pretty much the study of what makes us human.
I'm finna show you something.
Anthropology is the study of humanity, and you want to make humanity.
It's a study of what? It's a study of what? Humanity.
And you want to make humanity a white thing
because it is.
No,
what do you think?
I agree.
It is.
What do you think?
I think anthropology is the study of humanity, but it tends to be narrated from a position.
Are you guys looking? Are you guys looking at the goddamn screen?
You on Wikipedia, nigga? I'm not going to take that.
No, just look at the screen.
No, I'm not.
Right? Hold on. You're not going to accept it because look at over here to your right.
That's Wikipedia.
Hold on. Look at that.
The source.
No, let's not get the source. Just look at the goddamn picture.
I know what you're talking about. The diagrams of, only black person I seen them study was Sarah Bart because she had
everything else they have is a particular group of people that they decided to study. They don't have Caucasian studies. Caucasian studies is anthropology.
Okay, I still want to know what the casual had to say. I wanted to know.
I'm listening to him.
If he believed it, and do he agree with what you're saying?
I don't agree that anthropology is the study of white people, but I do think that anthropology tends to be narrated from a perspective that favors the experiences of white people above others and speaks from a position of white primacy, as though everybody else is somebody to be studied, as the man said. So I was watching Ant-Man earlier.
Because that's the same thing even with fashion. They had to fight to get African-American mannequins inside of stores like Macy's and Sears and all those because the darker skins weren't marketable. Same thing with plus-size women who went to fashion school. They were only told that they could only do, and this black or white women, they were only told that they could only do sizes 0 to 6 when they were sitting in the classes, a size 20 to 25. So
now okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But this is what I don't like about saying that anthropology. So you know what, man? I think you're right when you say that all black people are right. It just depends on when.
It's just a matter of what they write about.
Mm-hmm. So I think we are both almost saying the same thing. It just sounds like we're coming from two different ends of the same thing. I think that's exactly what's going on. And even with Nino talking about, because when Casual said it, he pretty much wrapped what me and you both said into one, and Nino put into application with his profession, as far as what he does as a life. And I even seen that. I even see that even in my application of life, because what has kept black women have kept this country going. And I hate to say this, I know I'm a soundcrack saying this,
and
you're
right, you're sure right.
But black women have helped keep this country afloat during this pandemic more than. So it's been black women as healthcare providers, because I'm in there with them, I see these black women. So it's a lot of black women are the healthcare providers. These white girls are just charge nurses and here and there. They're like that.
They're giving the instructions while the black women and the black men who are nurses are risking their lives.
Exactly.
So black women are the official nurses Because
Yeah.
guess what? Black, in order for you to be a nurse back in my aunt days, the one that I showed you on the documentary, she had to be a maid, a house servant, and all of that before she could even get her certification as a nurse, as to where a white nurse would go straight into the hospital and be a nurse. You know, they had a black hospital and a white hospital in Atlanta, and the white nurses would get paid on time. The black nurses had to line up, and whatever was left over for as money for that week, they would get paid. And if they didn't, they would say, "Hey, nigga, you got to wait till next week."
So with that, you look at anthropology, and anthropology, you know, what they try to do is make it a science behind human evolution, so forth and so on, right? But the science did not include black people. So this is where you have a time where you got guys like Shane Antidiop and Dr. Ivan Van Sertima and other doctors like that to try to make it so that it can include black people, right? But being a human being is not for black people. This is the reason why they came up with the 3/5 clause. The 3/5 clause is basically saying that black men are 3/5 of a man. We've heard that before, right? So black men are 3/5 of a man. So if you're looking at a whole man, which would be 5/5, what makes up the other 2/5? It's the one thing that separates black men from white men, which is the skin color. The largest organ on the body is the skin.
And then
Okay.
spirituality, because in their caste systems, they always kept the darker skinned people from having true spirituality. They just
But
have
if you
religion.
but
I
so if
don't
you
think anybody denies that white people have colored the study of anthropology to favor themselves, but in a contemporary environment, um, there's a growing amount of non-white male voices helping to change the history of anthropology going forward.
well, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that, but their voices are not out there ringing true. You know, it's not national fucking news. Okay. As you can see, the story of the white man is anthropology. This is the stud. This is his study. Just like you have Afro American studies, just like you have Chicano studies, anthropology and the history thereof is his study. This is all him. Okay, this is all him. So,
Yet they
what?
need our blood. Yet they need our bone marrow. They need our hearts, our organs to
Well, of
survive.
course. Well, of course.
Back in the slavery days, they believed that black people had natural healings. So what they would do would they would make the slave lay at their foot while they're sick, with a cover over them, and they lay at their foot as they put their foot on the slave. Uh,
Well, Nino, to every lie there is some truth. Go back to that picture that you was at. I'll be like real quick. Go back to that picture that you was at. Of that guy in the circle, the one that you just was at. Yeah, that one. Another thing, as a healthcare provider, I see imbalance, and that's what black people have always had the assessment eye to see. I see that one foot is straight and one foot is to the side. If you had balance, they both would be the
That's
same.
right.
So
That's correct.
he's unbalanced, and to every lie there is some truth. I had a grandmother that had healing hands. She used to heal burn victims.
I remember you told me that.
Mm-hmm. And white people from all around the United States, because white people had a problem with their houses burning down and lead and all kinds of shit. They were just they were burning. Historically, that means city. White people have been burnt, bombed. They got a problem with fire. They got a problem with their friend fire, and it has burnt them a couple of times. And
Well, fire ain't their friend.
my grandmother would rub her hands over these in particular white kids. There was a bunch of white kids she helped heal their skin with this her hands, and she would rub her hands over them and chant. I remember I got stung by a bee real bad. I got attacked by I was playing out. I grew up in the country. I was playing outside in a huge a nest. I got
It ain't funny.
yeah.
It ain't funny.
Yeah, I got attacked. Yeah, man, I got attacked by a damn nest, bro.
It ain't funny, Herb. I'm not laughing at you, but
Bro, them bees fuck. Them bees, mess. It was a group. They jumped me, yo. The bees jumped me, yo. Man, look, when they found me, I was laying in the yard, bro. It's messed up, bro. This is a sad, tragic story, and I'm kind of like, I kind of got PTSD about it, bro, because
okay,
like,
Herb, I'm gonna stop laughing. I'm sorry.
no, you don't have to, bro, because I survived it and I'm good now. But I was like, when all them bees attacked me, yo, I was in the middle of the country ass middle of the day, laid out in the middle of the yard, attacked by when them bees put me on my ass. I was just laid in the yard, and then my daddy came and got me and pulled me into the house, and my grandma just took some snuff out her mouth and rubbed my whole body down in snuff. And then I went to sleep, and when I woke up, all those every single
sting mark,
every single sting and every single and all their stingers were beside me in the bed, and all my swelling was gone. And I just went back playing outside, and I just went back outside playing like nothing happened.
Damn. But you know,
okay, but just real quick, do you guys know the reason why this whole the white man derived from this monkey type of deal? Do you know why that's not true? I mean, for obvious reason.
Explain to us, because even to this day, you have between Asian people calling black people nigger monkeys, sometimes some very racist, in your face whites and light skinned black people, mainly black men that call light skinned black men or mixed black men calling other black people and black men who are dark apes.
Okay, so the reason why this is not true is because apes and monkeys still exist. If this was true, then all of the apes would have transferred into some sort of type of human over time.
True.
You see, it's just the obvious fucking reason. See, this is the reason why you can't believe the shit that comes out of everybody's mouth. The problem with slavery, especially amongst black people, is that they lost their ability to see perspective, reality, the truth.
They take what's been given,
right, and try to make sense out of it. Mm-hmm. Right, right. Okay, why? Because you want to do something called escapism. You want to escape to an alternate world, or you want to escape to the Matrix, right? Because you don't really want to see what's real. Because then if you see something like this, where you're like, oh, okay, this is his evolution over time, right? You know, then if you see it for what it really is, then you'll have to say something about the truth, which means that he's a liar. And people don't like to see people and call them liars because people don't want to be called a liar themselves.
Well, you know, some people, man, they will believe a lie knowingly. You can say, we know that the sky is blue, and you could be there looking at it, and they would go out and believe that it's pink.
Yeah.
You know, and they live in that until something happens. Just like a lot of people didn't believe that COVID was real. It really is real.
So you know? I want you guys to share. I want you guys to come back on the deal about controlling men and our men really controlling. I really want you guys to come back about that one. And also,
well, I'll tell you this: you have what we have when it comes to black men, because of our dominance. And when it comes to groups, we want to control each other. We barely can control. We're missing the mark because the women, like they say, the women are starting to win because they see what we don't see. You know,
well,
we're too busy arguing with each other, fighting with each other. You know, at each corner of the earth with our knives playing cutthroat, to where. Look at what happened recently. I mean, with the girl, I'm not mad, you know, because it's not my channel. You know, look at what happened. Now it's like, hey, I got the channel. Let me see what I could do. And if she wanted to be vindictive, she could. But I don't think she's that type of person.
All right, so let's do this. Let's go back into this whole magazine deal. Just real quick, let's I guess we can go over the word simp. It's a slang term used to insult men who are seen to be attentive and even submissive to women. It is especially applied to men when they experience failure in hope of winning sexual attention or activity from women. It applies to men who put women or a particular woman on a pedestal simply for being a woman and not for any other merit that she may possess.
See, the problem here is that they did not say who calls men simps. Women don't. Other men call each other simps.
Well, so I'm sufficing that this is written by women.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's see,
no.
Let's do this
because
I don't know if you got
the space. You've heard this word a million times, right?
So Nino, I want you to follow something.
Go ahead.
The editor-in-chief is Dr. Holman. The writers, who wrote the magazine, are two women. Dr. Michelle Knights and Kendra Davis. So that's who actually wrote this.
Wait a minute, Kendra D?
Uh-huh. Who was that?
We know who Kendra D is. Okay, go ahead. Damn, I'm just seeing that. I downloaded it. I'm going to do some more research.
Yeah, I mean,
did Irv get knocked off or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think he might be coming back.
No, I'm here. Who dropped off was Casual Observer. He said Casual Observer dropped down. Hopefully he'll come back up though.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. He said white dude living down the hall just came back, so he can't speak freely anymore. Thanks for letting me on the panel, fam.
What did he say?
Yeah, so in the back chat, he left a message.
What he
said?
He
said the white dude that's living down the hall, he don't want to offend him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So he can't speak freely anymore.
Wow, I bet you they speak freely. He shouldn't be in here goddamn listening.
Well,
I think well, you know what? I think we need to get better at having these conversations with white people. Around. Yeah, because honestly, he doesn't actually know how his roommate or hallmate will react because they're not having a discussion.
And so
we don't know.
Don't have these discussions that it will go away. It won't, because trust me, I bet you if he's not around, guess who's going to be listening?
Okay, so here's the deal, because we think of this from a one-sided perspective.
Go ahead, perspective.
Right. So let's say if he's at college, let's say he's at college, whatever. Right.
He is.
And they had a freedom of speech where you can express freely. Can you imagine the type of shit that's gonna come out the white folks' mouth?
They have
about black people.
Listen.
No, I'm just talking about freely, as in like open on the campus. Oh. Okay, you will still have them out there burning shit. The reason being is because white people they like to revert back to form. So there's something that's in their DNA that reverts them back to all the way back to like some sort of primitive animal or something like that. Okay,
I get it, man. I get
what they thirst for blood. Yeah.
Now, what I think, if you have a class that helps you, like I took a master's class of sociology at the master's degree level at San Francisco State. Now, my professor was a white guy with the red hair. They call him Ginger. Okay? He was one of those guys who I could trust with my life, believe it or not. And it's sad because he know more about my history than I did. But at the same time, he knew about a lot of people's history.
Well, gingers to me are the original white people. They say it's the blonde ones, but it's really the red-headed The redheads were the original giants, the Nephilim. They're the original. They're the original.
It was smart.
Yeah, they're the original light of Lucifer.
But let me say this: this man in his syllabus told everybody it did not matter who you were, black, white, Chinese, Latino, Indian, African, whatever. He said, if you cannot identify with anybody outside of your circle or yourself, do not take this class. He made you sign a disclaimer and a liability form because this, he said, in order for you to be able to work into your respectable fields, this class will teach you how to deal with people who are different from you. He said he come from a town where the hospital where he worked, the town where he lived, the hospital only served white folks. They never seen a black person a day in their lives. So when they did have a black person who was checked into the emergency room, they didn't know what questions to ask, nor did they know how to deal with them. But they knew the history of being vindictive and evil.
Well,
They
Nina,
knew that part.
we talked about that because we said a lot of black people were getting seen in the emergency departments and then sent back to the street. You remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.
the only way that black women were able to work themselves actually into the hospital is through labor and delivery, right? We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
And to this day, there's not that many black people on the C-19 units because that's what I've been working for the past year and a half, 2 years. Is C-19 units. There's no black people.
Mhm.
All your pay, every single person I've been taking care of for the last 2 years has been white, 90% white, maybe like 10% Hispanic.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've literally, I can count on my hands how many black patients I've had in the past 2 years.
Mhm.
We're not being
But
kept in the
but
hospital like that.
but but let me finish saying this
We're
really
not.
quick.
I mean, we're not getting
All right.
We're
Yeah.
not getting
Yeah.
inpatient status.
Then we want to get back to the subject. The
Yeah, but, but,
subject
but
matter.
but I know, but let me finish what I'm saying.
Fuck. Go ahead.
So the thing was, the purpose of the class was no matter what field you were going into, because he said he felt that a lot of people at the bachelor's undergraduate level had missed the mark in their careers in knowing how to deal with people and were often getting sued, causing a lot of money problems for companies because they did not know how to interact with people who were different from them. So Irv is right when he said that we don't have enough of these situations. And I tell you, just because uh, uh, we don't talk about it does not mean that it will go away. Let somebody get in their emotions and get upset, even on the job with somebody they don't like. And mainly it's usually white people who want to have their way when it comes to black people. So they'll say things behind their backs and other people will probably hear them. And next thing you know, hey, she's a racist. She said this, I heard her. And it's usually a white person or a person that's non-black that heard it and that will come forward, you know. Now, the problem was he said he also stated that there are going to be some things in this class that you're not going to like, so you need to be able to understand. So you have the floor to ask any question that you've always been curious about. A white girl comes up and touched my face and says, and I wasn't offended, oh, I've never been up on a black person. I lived in a little town where she said my family have always made me afraid of black people. Now, these are millennials. Millennials now. She touched my skin, my face. I said, okay, it's fine. She said, I always wanted to touch your hair. She said, your hair is soft. But we've been told different things about black people. She said she's always been curious about black people, not in a way to be prejudiced, but because of what's been taught. So what do y'all feel about that?
I would have told her, you know what? If you're curious about this, it's gonna cost you.
What you
You
got?
gotta.
Well, I think that that's something that I don't think that's really a nuance. I think that that's something that white America has always had, and I think that um that's where a monetary gain happens. That's where your biracial kids come from.
And it's not my job to teach you how to
You know.
treat me or to not be scared of me. You know,
But
and I
that's
learned
code. That's what I'm saying is that's code words for sex. You remember how we were talking about how
yeah.
it
Right,
really is.
right,
It
right.
really is. That's it. That's all it is, Nino. I want to know about you. You're interesting. From what I've known, because I've dated white girls. Um, and I'm coming to the understanding that that's just the code for sex. It's code
But
word. This is the code phrase for sex.
And guess what? Man said that you would be surprised at what people would say if they had free speech. Shit, in that class, they were saying shit like, "Oh, we've been told that black people were dirty and disease." Asian guys said that.
Yeah, but we've
all
been
right, so
told shit about Asians too.
yeah, okay, fellas.
Okay.
We strayed too far off the topic. Let's hit with this term strag, a struggling hag, right? I'm sure y'all heard of that.
Yep.
And the street
Angry
dude,
man. Angry man used that.
yeah, he uses that a lot. But it comes from this guy named the Grinch.
Oh.
Uh, yeah. So then you got this
Oh, they
street
talk
dude.
about him a lot over at Sir Obadiah, the Grinch.
Yeah, Grinch ain't shit, man. All these niggas ain't shit, man. And then this nigga
They
Fergie,
managed to make it into a magazine that at best costs 99 cents.
you know what the
Shut,
only
man,
reason
shut the fuck up.
I mean, you get the final call for more than that.
but you know do you know honestly the only reason why I was going to support the that this is I was going to support DS1, but I think the best way to support DS1 is to support the brother channel. I don't think I'm going to support DS1 through this magazine. I just don't think I'm going to.
Yeah,
But I do
I don't
support
think
D.
so too. They
I
get
do
no more
support
interesting
DS1.
shit until they start also promoting guys who are really giving out good content and not a whole bunch of bullshit. Not
Right.
by the
Well,
money, not by the cash apps, but good content.
all right. So let's make it. Let's struggle through this. Maybe they should. Maybe we should get a term for struggling through this damn magazine.
Okay.
Uh. All right. So the street dude is supposed to be is referred to as the Pookie and Ray Ray. I don't like that term. Because
And
that's
I
not
will
what a
be
street dude
covering that.
is.
Hello, people. Will be recovering that. I will be covering that. See, because y'all love
A
trying to
street
spew
dude
on
is the type of black man that used to grow up in the hood and the ghettos. He's usually a nonconformist and finds alternative ways to survive to meet his needs. Yeah, that's not a street dude. He's actually called an entrepreneur. So outside of him being called a Pookie or a Ray Ray,
You know what? That's one thing I agree with Sir Ismond. He said people shit on the Pookies and the Ray Rays. I agree with him on that. And some of them have been black men heroes, believe it or not, because that's all they had to look up to. What you think, the man?
okay, so there's a lot of different ways to make money, and just because a person doesn't conform to working a 9 to 5 or going to go get a profession does not make him a Pookie or a Ray Ray.
Okay.
Let's see.
And Irv, your thought?
Oh, you already know how I feel about that Pookie and Ray Ray thing. I feel like those are interchangeable people, and I've always been more into the reality of And see, and this is another thing, yo. They always they use all these terms to try to cause this bipolarism
Yeah,
I
in
but the
mean,
thing
black
is,
men.
Irv, see, like even you, Irv, you're a nurse, you're a professional, you went to school. I did too, but we still know how to go out and blend in and identify without shitting on other black men. calling them Pookies and Ray Rays. Like when you was in that video, I was shocked.
Well, you'll be called a third then, and that's a thug nerd. I mean, the shit gets. I mean, as you keep going, it gets very elementary. It describes the type of man who embodies the quality of both archetypes of men. He has the charisma, the street smarts, and overall machismo. With the thug, he's also he also has interest. You could tell women wrote this shit.
But you know what though? No,
because they're trying. They're trying to say, well, here's what a real man is.
I can't see women writing that part because you got men that do fit that description in these spaces. You know, T got that look of a thug, but guess what? He speaks great. He can go blend in anywhere, even on a job, but he also can get down with the rough and the tough. You can too.
And this is the reason why. Exactly. That's what I write with. That's what I write with Anthony. Cool people.
Man, don't call me no third, man. Call me a trick.
Nah, because but check this though. I think you know what, man. The reason why I think that men wrote this is because and I actually we're both right. I think this is the problem with being right. This is the problem with what you said.
Because women don't think this deep into this.
It's exactly so. What it is these are men that wrote this in a female mindset of envy and jealousy.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that it was written. I agree with you that it was written. I agree with you on the feminine part. I just don't agree with you on the.
You know what? These men didn't want to be called feminine for writing this, so they decided to say a woman wrote it. Trust me.
Yeah, so I agree with you on the feminine part. I just disagree with the gender, and that is where you get these whole 101 gender studies you have now. That is exactly how you. This is exactly how you get it. When you get men writing in a female minded note, you can start going into gender studies now. Because what made you as a man write like a bitch?
Look, you better ask Neo. Why did he make Beyonce to the left?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's what I'm saying.
He wrote single ladies, all the single ladies, and put your hands up. You better put a ring on it, and to the left. And all your shit is in the box to the left. And we've been known to only have maybe even a portion of the closet. So when you come home 5 minutes late, she done poured bleach on your motherfucking clothes and put them in a bag and put them on the side and say your shit is over there to the left. And usually it's men who do not put their names on any kind of lease or anything that got like this. Often go make the money, pay the rent, go kill the goddamn cow, bring it home, and she's acting a goddamn fool. And I'm acting like the man right now. I just can't raise my voice. I'm hoarse again. God damn it. Thought I was going to be able to go to the music studio.
All right. So we got a couple of pages I skipped past here. And so check out these glossary terms so that way when you're in the manual space, they won't be yelling at you.
That they put on these covers.
Yeah, they made these are some stragglers, man. They could have got them some haircuts or something like that. I don't know.
Not even that. The man, not even that. They trying. I guess they're trying to make the guys look like whatever the words are saying.
Exactly, like because why are these guys wearing wool sweaters and that's a cheap ass suit too, yo. Nino would get me a better suit than that. Nino would get me a better suit than that.
That suit is fucking cheap. All right.
I like this because I like the construction of it. I don't like the material. His haircut is on point, but I need to see why is he down by validation.
Okay, so we both know, we all know what tricking is. We know what a trope is.
Why is he down by validation and personal value?
Okay, so he's not actually down by that. He's over here. He's over here next to the PMV or personal market value, right?
But his head is hovering above validation. Look where his
right.
No. His head and his head is above validation. His face is pointing towards value.
Value, right.
Okay, maybe a message in that. So let's read validation.
And then he's looking down at a valuable woman series.
Y'all crazy, man.
All right. So this whole valuable woman series, I have no idea why it would be in a man's magazine.
But go back up above his head because I want to know what that means.
Okay. All right. I thought we already knew what validation mean.
No. Personal market value.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Which one do you want? Validation value or personal market value?
That one, personal market value.
All right. So it's the first trait which refers to the value and nature of the relationship a woman has with herself. Okay, so why would this be in here? Yeah. Obviously, it's because this is coming from Dr. Holman. Okay, no one knows about this shit. This is the first time I've actually heard it.
It sounds intelligent because it came from him, but all the other shit that these other guys coming up with, it's crazy. Okay, so I guess we can go down to Valuable Woman series.
Well, so that's kind of what it is, coming from Dr. Holman. It's a system that was created about 30 years ago, which included it into the Father's Time Fatherhood Academy as a hangout to help men with the process of understanding how to accurately access and value a woman using these 5 traits. So the personal market value, PMV, belonging market value, BMV, friendship market value, FMV, sexual market value. I knew that KS was going to come in here somewhere.
That's what he was coming in.
And marriage market value, yeah.
He came in last.
Yep.
But he really came in first because he won.
Okay. So we can see how all of this stuff. So, and I would suffice to say that you could probably make a series out of this, right? But women don't give a shit.
You can make a movie out of this.
Yeah, well, that's probably the reason why, women really don't care about this type of stuff is because
they want to see you fighting anyway against each other.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, basically, what they'll do is that they'll just go get a down and outer, right?
Go to vetting. Go to vetting.
Do me a favor. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Vetting and victim, but vetting first at the top.
Vetting to make a careful and critical examination of something, investigate someone thoroughly, especially to ensure that they are suitable for a job requiring secrecy, loyalty, or trustworthiness. The term also applies to dating, especially with the intent to marry. Okay, a man's vetting process of a woman utilizes Dr. Holmes' 4 T's: time, toll, trouble, and threat. The Crimson Tide she showed the chart for this.
Yeah, I've seen it on what's his name too, I think, the bishop.
And this process will benefit him in determining if to move forward. A victim is a person who suffers an injury or a death. All right, let's see. We know what a white knight is.
Okay,
that's a Captain Saber 304.
Hold up. I want to read that. Go to white knighting because I need to know because I've heard you say that plenty of times.
Right. So it's a slang term. It's basically a Captain Save-A-Ho. Okay. So it's a slang term it's a slang term to describe men who come to the rescue of women without any need. Right? To take up for a woman either physically or ideologically when they are being critiqued or spoken about negatively, to defend the honor of the general group of women or a specific woman to which the man has no ties. Um, so Bronze came and did that one day with Bomb Cherry, Bronze Bird, I believe. Right. And I'm like, you just came. I mean, like, she didn't need your assistance. She was holding on. You know, that was during the
Was it
purge.
against you?
Yeah, it was during the purge. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, wait a minute, because of your list.
Yeah, so people hate the list. Yeah. Yeah. So the 10 life values, the 10 life value system. I think that everyone should check that out. Give it a shot.
I liked it. I like the fact they put it into a little boyish there, because I think these things need to be instilled during that age.
Yeah, that's what DS1 come in. That's what brother DS1 come into play. That out of everything that I've seen so far,
That's the most valuable.
I don't care nothing about the value. I don't care nothing about all those other false proclaimed thesaurus synonym bullshit ass words they tried to define up above.
Yeah.
When you
Go
start talking
back
about
to the
steps of
purpose
being a
of the Manosphere. See, look at all
hold
these.
on, hold on. Go back to the purpose, because that may be their mission statement. They may need to
Because we
play
never knew
this
the mission
more.
statement.
They need
But
to play it more.
But they
Okay.
still coming up with them words. They got words out here. They got yams, and what's the other one?
Hold on. We'll get to it. Let's cover one thing at a time, so that way people not confused so that y'all not confusing the shit out of me. You understand? All right. So the purpose of the Black Manosphere, right? The Black Manosphere is committed to providing leadership, values, and SOS, system, order, and structure. Yeah, because I've been talking about that. For Black men, we focus on and address what is most important to Black men through the 10 life value success system. This is done by employing three fundamental and essential functions: measurement, accountability, and solutions. All right. So that's that.
What's up with the old edge? Saw some say old.
The old adage:
Uh-huh.
what gets measured get done. Okay, so it's the driving force behind measuring and reporting on the effectiveness of the solutions in addressing life issues in the Black Manosphere. So the deal is that this is what women hate. Okay, they hate things that's measured, because then it requires discipline. So what get measured is done is the driving force behind and reporting on the effectiveness of the solutions in addressing the life issues of the Black Manosphere. So women balk and buck at the discipline, and this is the reason why that this part it won't work. So yams is a slang term of the body of a curvy or voluptuous woman, specifically commentary on the size of her breast, butt, and thighs, meant as a compliment, not as a derogatory term.
But why is it there?
I have no idea. I guess that's his words that guys say across the Manosphere.
You really ain't got no game.
No. So slang term, zaddy, I guess is a white daddy. I guess I suppose.
No, older man.
Now this is interesting.
It's
now
an older man with money.
Yeah, this is interesting. The Black Manosphere is committed to helping Black men solve their problems with the help of other Black men. Interesting. The next few pages will provide a close look at the top 10 pressing issues that Black men currently face, as well as a report card on which measures these issues. We will create solutions.
And who determines the fucking report card? That's what we need to know.
Well, we'll go down. We'll go down to go get into it. right? So they'll create solutions for men by activating advisory teams, establishing accountability partners, and mentorship. Interesting. Collectively, we will
Have you
create
seen
a
mentorship? Who you seen mentor? I ain't seen no boys being mentored.
right.
Maybe men and like only person I think probably been mentored was Bernard Riley, and that's by Obsidian to show who was gonna be next, and maybe Pookie Truth by BGS.
Yeah, BGS actually. See, this is what I mean. Usually, me and BGS be having a problem because BGS one day when I was on the Roger Report, he said, I'm trying to talk to you like you my grandson." I said, "Okay, I get this, BGS. I get this, BGS. You see, I'm in healthcare. You see, I'm kind of stand out. Don't give a damn. If I go under your leadership, you can do something with me. That's what you're saying. Thing about it is, I never been gang affiliated though. I always been. I mean, no. I never been gang. I've been gang affiliated. Never been in a gang. I told you, I never joined. I never joined the Divine Nine. I never
Mm.
joined any of the local gangs or street gangs in my neighborhood or in the country. I've always been
Kind of
gang
organization.
affiliated. I've been gang affiliated. I never actually joined any organizations.
Mhm.
All right. So then you have the issues that we have a problem.
I need you to emphasize that with your voice,
What is that?
where it says we have a problem.
Oh, we have a
Emphasize.
problem.
Yeah, I need you to say that loud.
What did it say? We have a problem. Is that what you're trying to say? All right. So you got this lack of black male agency, chronic homelessness, right, poor health conditions, chronic joblessness, high incarceration rates.
That
All
should
right.
have been number one on the list. High incarceration and how we can get them to change the laws for brothers coming back into the goddamn uh, in society. See, they don't talk about that, nor do they talk about the brothers who've been locked up in the spaces.
Well, just let's hold on a second. Oh, okay. So they got angry guy on the back of the magazine. Okay, so they're talking about some health things, hypertension, poor educational support, the constant threat of extinction. Sure.
Good chart. That look like something you would have done.
Yeah. Well, I get it. Um, okay. What was your question? Because I don't see any problem solving
Who
deals
questioned?
here. I thought you had a question about one of
No, we
the
was talking about they
subject
never
matters.
talk about the incarceration thing. I was telling you, you was about to read. We have a problem.
Oh, okay. No, actually, I'm just trying to power through this, man. I'm because it's
Or do you
not
think,
really.
or do you think we can come back to that on another stream?
Well, you know what? I think so. Um,
Because that's where we stopped off at. Because you
because it
wait a
just
minute, they
seems as
using
if,
Dr. King in this. Come on,
yeah, I suppose.
and Dr. King is an alpha.
Okay, so that's basically all of the magazine. So I didn't see any solutions.
Go back to we have a problem. Then, since that's the last part of it, I like to see what the problems are, and I see appeal. Wait a minute, appeal inside of that thing, inside of that logo.
Give me a second because the computer is.
There it is. What?
Oh yeah, yep,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't see any real solutions here,
I mean, they
right?
got some good stuff in there, but it's all over the place. Um, Only thing I see is that this is a guide to tell you how to stay on one accord with the terminology.
Right. So overall, as a review, I give the magazine a C minus. I don't know what do you fellas think?
I think I'll go along right along with you, not to shit on them because they did do a good job at least giving you the glossary. Because for people who don't understand the talking points of the Black Manosphere, that's really good. But by using those talking points, what are they going to do? Now, what I
Hold
think
on,
that.
Nino. Hold on, Nino. Hold on, Nino.
Mhm.
Now, you guys got to get these likes up. You guys got to get these subscribers up. You guys got to get the engagement up, because then if not, I'm going to start playing some music. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
You don't get
Let
that
me
Kevin
find out.
Samuels bullshit out of here, nigga. But
Woo.
but real talk, we do need to step our music game up though on some real stuff because, like, I mean, everybody has got something to give, man. Um, Kevin Samuels does have the coming up with the soundtrack and the stepping up the cameras. I mean, he has a lot of he does have good production and you may not like what he says, whatever, who cares? But the thing about it is there's a production value that can be given there. I mean, if we get too much hung up on we can get hung up on certain things and move on to what we want to see and what we want to move. It's all delusional. It's all delusional. It's all in your mind anyway.
I believe that too, Earth. Yep. So, uh, I guess some of this is helpful. Some of it is can be bullshit. And being around some people, I could tell. You know that that the terminology was made by certain men because I've heard it on the channels.
Uh-huh.
So there you have it there with that one.
Well, let me see.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a after stream of, or I might do an after stream of system of structure or cry for help. Sending out an SOS.
Because I think what he's trying to say is that in order to have the solutions to the problem, you must have the 10 life value system, right? So you got to have the 10 life values, the adversary teams, accountability partners, and mentorship.
Okay, so who would be the accountability partners? Would that be
I,
some of
ha- I have listen.
like wait, hold on, like you, me, and Earth, because we big on accountability.
Nah, it'd be a guy by the name of Angry Man.
Oh,
Which is unaccountable because he needs contributors. If you need contributors, you're not accountable. If you're not giving anything, they think that they're giving game to the system, and so therefore they should receive contributions to this system. And
now
I love that
no,
they
I'm gonna
always
say
talk about it. They always talk about a matrix or whatever, but like it's just one of those weird things that they want you to pay for it. They want you to subscribe to a system. See, we were working for a cyclistic industrial wave before, and this is kind of what this is actually. Where you're buying into a system that's not even a real system. It's a
yeah, because
created
people
system.
are not reading this book and going by it, even though it's kind of all over the place. It does say that it's supposed to be for black men, mentoring black men and boys. But these guys are not doing it. What are you mentoring people on? What are you mentoring? You're giving them information that's only partial, that women are the problem. We know women are the problem, but that get old. And you tell them men who got things going perfectly all right at home with them and their wives or girlfriends to go home and quit them and to beat them up. You know,
It's making you part of of the last dimension of keeping us on the bottom, because the new industrial wave is going to have the high class, the rich, the low class, which is the low class, the poor, and then your useless society. Your useless society are pretty much your content creators, where
And
they
people
don't
you
really.
can't trust.
Well, the thing about it is that's what all these rich kids in California are doing. They're super rich, so now they can go back and be useless on social media and just do what they want to do. The useless society is your social media creators, and what will feed the useless societies is the contributors, the high class people that want to do useless stuff, and the low class people that know that traveling and doing and all this useless, stunting and all this uselessness. Like you see it right now with black people trying to buy Jordans and all this other stuff that they can't afford. So
And
the
I would
low,
even say taking your money and going across seas and not doing no kind of research, nor have you went and shook a hand to any of the leaders over in the country over there to say, hey, look, I'm coming over here, but I'm coming over here to either have sex with your women or to look for a wife.
and that's how the high class will become the useless class. So therefore, and this whole content creator, all this other stuff is trying to create us into a useless class where the high class and the low class play the useless class. It's almost like it is now where the high class and the middle class play the lower class. You're just stepping it down. You're just stepping it down a sector.
Like the guys who got a lot of subscribers and got money and stuff, they're the elite as to where they don't recognize people who have just as good content as what they have, and they won't recognize you because you're not in the TLA um, phase of this thing. TLA, Shannon Rawls, but Shannon Rawls is on point. Shannon Rawls is cool. He still down to earth. But I
Okay.
don't know now if those content if it get above 10,000, I don't know. You don't know. People change. I mean, is it okay to change or? And I'm not okay. I don't mind people getting paid, but show people that you're not taking their money and buying cigars,
Right.
buying polos and shit like that. Show that you invested in your channel or even invested in you looking good because you are the product. Show them different. Keep them entertained, you know? And everything don't have to be a problem. We can have a couple of laughs here and there. Yep.
Yep. So I mean, I most certainly 110% agree. That's Nino. Let's see. I think we're approaching the 3.5 hour mark. Do you guys have any other parting thoughts or anything like that about the magazine? What would you guys take on it? What's your review?
Well, I'll say this. I'm not shitting on the magazine. Let me be heard on the record. I'm not shitting on it. I think that it was all over the place. It was done tasteful, but all over the place. And some things that we could have done without. I think they should have had some articles in there with other content creators giving their thoughts, uh, and also talking about what it is that they teach and what they've learned from the Black Manosphere. Since it's supposed to be the report card breakdown. And we need to know who's giving the report on these report cards. Are they worthy of giving these grades? Are they themselves content creators? And how did they come to the determination of giving such grade? And I'll end there.
Okay. Uh, Past the $40. What you got for us, bro?
Man, I'm about to slide out and you know what? I think I might shoot up a live too. Hell yeah.
All right, since this is the Buildosphere, and since
Yeah.
Pastor $40 is planning on the show, stay.
Man, I got kicked out the Buildersphere, man. Past the $40 kicked me out the Buildersphere, man.
No, I didn't, brother. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, nigga. I just haven't been going live. I just have, I've been on some super other shit trying to get because the Buildersphere is going to be building on some other shit. We may have something where we're going to try to We're gonna do some things. Do some things. I just daggone being in the grind because we gotta get this shit going.
Hey, that's good, bro. So what's your parting shots, real quick? So we'll go ahead and we can get up out of here, bro.
Man, it was a good stream. You know what I'm saying? Black Manosphere and that daggone. We have to do better. Have to do better with these magazines. 99-cent red pill.
Hey, and on that note, I'm gonna drop these brothers out of here. All right. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Especially on Christmas Day. This Black Manosphere magazine, I'll give you roughly a C-. You could have done a lot better. You could have grabbed a lot more people. You could have really made it speak to us. It didn't really speak, right? There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues that I think that that even in this Black Manosphere magazine that they're afraid to cover, because the one thing that we are as Black men that we are experiencing is racism, white supremacy. That's afraid to be addressed. Right. So Black Manosphere magazine, get tougher, get stronger. For lack of better terms, be a man. With that one, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with me. We out.